Okay. Recording in progress. Yes. Yes. Recording in progress. Yes. Recording in progress. Brr. Hope my phone does not run out of battery. Battery. I wish Zoom would pick up my Aztec death whistle, that I could just, at the beginning of every podcast, be like, and welcome to Unpaid and that is not a good impression of an Aztec death whistle. Man, I feel like I haven't recorded a podcast for weeks. Man, feels good. Man, I feel like a woman. Welcome back to episode. Different voices. Okay. Welcome back to episode. Oh, if I did a whole podcast in this voice. If I did a whole podcast in this voice. Hello, my children. Sit down by the fire and let me tell you the story of how guys named Brian are ruining the fitness industry. Like I even know, I'm not even in the fitness industry. I'm into fitness pizza in my mouth. I'm into fitness pizza in my mouth. I'm gonna drink this water in this voice. Was no one else here to make me laugh? Ugh. I'm Batman. I'm Lego Batman. For all those not listening, I have a Lego Batman right above my Bray Wyatt toy. My wife thought that would be a good stocking stuffer, is to have a Lego Batman. Except he's got little batarangs, and it looks like he's just giving me the finger every time I sit here. Okay, so I know I started this a bit early, but like, people should be here. People should be here.
And welcome back to episode 14 of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. I'm a podcast by crew for crew. I'm one of your hosts, Big Keith, joined as always by Big Joy.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, and then we got one of the Matts this week with us. We're going to introduce yourself there, bud.
Matt Sanchez, pretty new to the crew, so I'm just excited to be here.
Nice. Well, we're glad to have you. Matt, you got anything over there fancy you're drinking tonight?
I actually, in relation to Joey's, I have an IPA called Easy Lift with a forklift on it.
Nice. That's actually really, that's good on multiple levels. I dig that.
It's double level.
Yeah,
layers.
Yeah.
Layers. It's like an onion. Onion's got layers.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't taste like an onion though.
Couldn't have chose a cake. Cake's got layers too.
So I think I've reached my final straw with Liquid Death. I was excited to try their rut beer, as Tanner would call it. Their root beer, man, it's mid for sure. It's like, I don't know, 2.5 out of 5. If I was to go on a 5, it's not great, but it's not horrible. But it's just so artificially sweetened. Like, I just rather have fucking plain water. It's. I don't know if it's worse than it. It might be just a hair better than the Fruity Pebbles, but that's a low bar. So yeah, man, Liquid Death is it all branding? Like, is that how they're popular? Because their drinks are ass. Like, I don't get it.
Well, like the normal just bubbly water is fine and it's good, but I think it's because of the sweetener. The agave sweetener is like, it's just putting it in whatever. The agave is what's causing the problems, I think.
I mean, I guess if I didn't drink like a diet soda every now and then, like, and this was my only, I don't know, like, this is not a fridge cigarette. It is bad. Like, I'll drink it, and I think I got like a 4-pack or 6-pack of it that I'll have to consume, but it's
lots of ice, man. Lots of ice.
Yeah, Toby let me down with this one. I'm gonna have to try to pick him up and drop him, but I don't know if I can pick his big ass up.
Who?
Oh, I had a thing with Toby. I was like, Toby, if this disappoints me, I'm going to drop you from overhead like you drop your wife. And he responded with something to the extent of, if you can actually put me overhead, I'll allow it. And I cannot pick up Toby overhead, so I guess I can't do that. But like that's what I should train for. Like I'm not training to fight the Russians. I'm training to like be able to push press Toby's big ass just so I could drop him.
Every time you train overhead press, just like check what his weight is for that day.
Yeah.
Load it on the bar.
That would, oh God, I don't need, I would have to do like reverse band. He didn't say reverse bands couldn't be allowed, so I could reverse band Toby. It's just a matter of getting a squat rack tall enough. What about you, Joey?
Nah, just some water. And I got
Nice.
some Keiths ready when I'm ready for one.
There you go. Wearing this week, I got me a nice little deadlift shirt on the old one, I guess on the not comfort color.
Which one? The
Deadlift.
deadlifter?
Oh yeah, the
Ah,
deadlift.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, the Budweiser shirt, but on the OG. Uh, Big Matt, what you rocking? Which gym shirt's that? Which one of the 97
I got
which one of the 97 colors is that?
it's the Sabrina Carpenter special, the espresso.
Nice, nice.
The espresso. I just have a shirt that I can wear to work tomorrow. It's one of my Norse Fitness ones. It's already beat up.
Nice.
I find it unpleasant to wear limited edition Massonomics shirts to work.
Well, yeah, because you're like, I don't want to rip this. Also,
Yeah.
it's like, you be careful with that. I definitely have like work clothes and then workout clothes and home. I have like several different wardrobes that don't really overlap very often.
You don't change. We found out in your video.
My wife, I just got lucky and have a wife that does laundry every now and then if she knows people are flying across the country to surprise me. Do you want to do your Derek meetup that you weren't here last week to talk about that?
Well, I mean, you pretty much already did. We met.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, we met. We went down to Bernie's, which is where.
Oh yeah, because you met up with him, and then I met up with him the next day. Like,
yeah,
you met up with the day I think we record, or the day before we recorded, and then
yeah. We went saw Mitch. Mitch used to, when he had more time, listen to our podcast and the Massonomics podcast. He was the first person to recognize Massonomics in the wild for me, and he happens to be the head chef at a really good wing place. So we went there. We had a lot to talk about. Talked about horror podcasts, traveling, what it's like to record a podcast weekly.
Oh, that's awesome.
How much we love the crew. It was just two guys shooting the shit. And he's a really nice guy. The fact that he even made time to come see me was incredible. Mm-hmm. Like I said on my Instagram post, I don't get a lot of visitors out this way. So when he said he was going to be here, I made everything possible to make it work, including working 9 hours and then heading over.
Nice,
and changing my shirt so I wasn't covered in sawdust. Yeah, so it was amazing. And yeah, when you talk about your thing, I'll give you my perspective because it does include some of what me and Derek talked about.
Mm-hmm. Well, I met up with Derek, met up Friday morning personally. Like, so there's like, before I even get to that, I had such a busy day that day, as all dinks do. But yeah, the wife had me take that day off. Well, for like 3 months ago, she was like, "Hey, we're gonna do something like we're gonna do some kind of couples thing. I'm not really sure what we're gonna do. It's a couple weeks before our anniversary. It was just like it's just an easy way to celebrate it without like doing it around the holiday." And I was like, "Cool, dope. I don't fucking take half days anymore because you go in and you get all the bad of work and you'll get half the pay and then you still start your family shit already annoyed. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do a half day. I'm gonna take the whole day off." And she's like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." And then Derek reached out a couple weeks ago or so and was just like. Or well, actually, Derek reached out a while ago and was just like, "Hey, this is what I'm in." Kind of gave me some options, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm free Friday morning, or I'm free whatever night." But Friday morning ended up working out best for him, so he ended up driving out that morning. I was coming off being sick for a week. I'm still coming off being sick for 2 weeks, but I just got some antibiotics last night, so things are looking up so far. Probably, I don't know, he was here for a few hours, at least probably 3 hours from we got a lift, I did the gym tour before the gym tour before I knew there was another one coming. So I was just like, we'll call that the dry run with Derek. He used he was the first crew to use the toilet in the basement, and we got a little workout in. He was rode his, not from notice, Big Derek, the fireman at Virginia Beach. Was up and doing a work conference, I believe, in Niagara Falls area, and kind of made time to meet up with Joey, the Cesneys, and me over his 2 or 3 day trip that he was up here. So very cool of him to do that. And went out, got some breakfast, shot the shit, sent him on his way, 10 or 11 o'clock, maybe about 11 o'clock or so, whatever he got on his way, and the wife was like, yeah, just be free around 3 o'clock. So I was like, cool. So, took a shower, lounged around, didn't really do anything. And, she's kind of like putting it off of like telling me what we're going to do or anything. Cause I think Tanner and Tommy at that point were running a little bit later than what, within like a half hour, 45 minutes of when she was anticipating them being here, which is not a big deal by any means. But then she had to like scramble to like figure out how to continue to kill more time. And then I was like, towards the, after noonish, I was like, something's going on. I was like, she's been known. She's thrown a few different surprise parties for me, and thrown a few different like invited my friends from across the country to fly back and like spend the weekend with us and stuff like that. So that was always a maybe thing. And then Nate texted the group and was like, "I'm in your state," and I'm like, "Huh." It's like something's going on. And I don't even know. I don't, at no point did I think that it was Tanner and Tommy going to be coming to the house. Like, I don't even remember if I knew they were doing a gym tour that weekend. I just remember, backstory briefly. It probably was at home gym con. Tanner was kind of asking like how far away I live from Gluck and Brandon. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's like 6, 7 hours. And he's like, yeah, that's probably not going to work out. So he was already laying the groundwork of like,
making the surprise,
basically letting me know there will be a Northeast tour and that I would not be included, and that we'll get you next time, bud. Basically one of those. So at my point, I was already committed to like, all right, next year. So I still got 6 months to a year to get the gym in shape. I've got all these little like fine touches I want to do and little odds and ends I want to make just right. And yeah, no, like I'm just sitting at the door and it was funny. It almost got ruined because like the neighbor was outside doing something, and my Stephanie kept looking outside like I have a big picture window, and I was sitting on the couch, laying on the couch underneath of it, and she kept like looking outside, and then like I was just lazy enjoying my day off, so I never got up to look, and then a couple minutes later, she saw them walk by and was just kind of like, oh shit, and then she told me to go open the side door, and I'm just like, I figured it was obviously going to be a friend or crew or something, but. And I even like as I was walking over, the blind was shut, but you could see just a little bit of like Massonomic shirt coming through the side, and I was just like, "Oh, cool, Nate's here," or something to that extent. Like maybe because I was like Nate and Joey have been talking about doing a movie night that we record and make that an episode or some shit, and like that was I was like, "Oh, that's what's happening, cool." And then there's fucking like 7 foot fucking three, Tanner and Tommy standing on my side porch, and just completely floored me. Everyone saw that little video. That was awesome. I think Tanner was so giddy. They were both just happy to have gotten one over on me. And then like hearing that like, a dozen fucking people knew about it going into it, which was great. That everyone was able to, the fact that everyone was able to keep that secret was pretty cool to know that like no one fucked up and spilled the beans, because I think it was worth it just to hear them tell the experience. Was it so the episode on their episode that we will rate later, talking about how like they were going back for the should we spill the beans? It's like, oh, they've already kicked all the listeners out, and they were like, all excited they were gonna be able to surprise me and shit, and that was awesome. The tour itself was great. They came in, we just shot the shit for probably 20 minutes, and they were just kind of like, yeah, we really should get this going because we've got another 5-hour drive to end our night before we can get in a hotel. So, you know, I had done a gym tour before, like some, pretty high, probably professional level or if you ever, when Gluck and Winnie and their camera guy came like 2 or 3 years ago. And this was a completely different experience because like Tanner and Tommy just the most laid back, like, let's take 90 seconds and do an outline of kind of what we think we're going to do and then just do it live. And, whereas Gluck, it was like fucking 8 hours of like everything being micromanaged and doing like the same fucking scene 4 times and then, only getting like a 7-minute video out of the whole thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Still a cool experience, but this was much more fun. It only took, thankfully, I keep my gym. What did I say on Instagram? Like gas station ready, just
Yeah.
because like if it wasn't like that would I think the only thing that was really out of place is I had a couple fans that I wanted to like get off camera because they were just like they're not sightly, and then the deadlift bar was loaded from a deadlift session that morning, which was fine because I just looked good in the pictures anyway. So, but thankfully the rest of the gym was.
That's what I was going to ask if, because for myself, like sometimes I'll finish a workout and I'm just because it's a home gym, I'm like, I do not feel like putting that away. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that. That'd be tomorrow's problem.
Deadlifts are the only ones I'll leave. I won't leave. I'm too OCD. Like I can't leave a squat bar loaded because I'm afraid, squat bar or a bench bar I won't leave load. A deadlift bar or an RDL bar or like a log, as long as if I'm in the garage and I get the log or the axle like off the crash pads, there's not indenting that, we're good to go. But yeah, I did the tour, did the basement, went out to the garage, came back, and then we probably shot the shit for another like hour. Actually, no, we did. The camera, like I have a video of it, so maybe someday, like after their video comes out, so I'm not stealing any of their clout, I might edit it up and just throw it on Instagram or even YouTube because it was pretty long. But it's just those two guys doing the blobs, and then I think my Stephanie got in on them at the end too, and then kind of killed the camera, and we just shot the shit for I don't know half hour or whatever, and then they kind of did the old slap the knees and had to get on the road because it was I don't know 7:30 or so, and I know they had to start a 4 or 5 hour drive to get back out to close to where their gym tour the next day was. But yeah, I've loved seeing their content come out of it, their stories or videos.
Yeah.
I made a Stephanie knew, I told her in advance, but she knew to just like get as many like candid shots as she could, and so there's a lot of good videos, a lot of pictures of that I had to go through and kind of cherry pick the good ones and make a post of that, and it was just awesome. I was very surprised, very very humbled to be included in the list. I was very glad that the Cessna's got to partake. I'm excited to see everyone else's tours. It was a very fun, genuine couple, several hours actually. And then, just knowing that Stephanie let me read the text thread that her and Tanner had from like middle of July into July. And he was like, from the get-go, it was his idea to fuck with me. It had like, yeah, to be the surprise. And she was super excited about that. Like her response was like, anything that can get one over on him essentially is like, I'm game for. So she did great. And, she quarterbacked the whole thing, and, I got good friends, and it's awesome.
So I'll give you a brief breakdown of my contribution if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also found out about the same time, and I was supposed to come. And I kind of talked it over, and I'll be honest, I came to two conclusions. I didn't want to cross the border, and the second conclusion was I didn't want to take that from you.
Yeah, that's smart. I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I just thought like, no.
Too overwhelmed.
Let Keith have his moment is essentially the ultimate decision I ended up on. I will say, though, that knowing Derek was going to be there, I did tell Tanner, hey, maybe reach out to Derek, because if he's going to be there within half an hour or so of you guys arriving, like maybe he won't want to leave. Right. But Derek ultimately said he couldn't make that work, and he was sworn to secrecy as well.
Then playing a lot of that back too. Like I literally I talked for Derek for essentially 3 hours straight, and he had to have that sitting on his head.
Yep.
And it was just like, that was cool. Kudos to him. And yeah, no, hey, Derek had to be back in Virginia for a high school reunion Saturday night.
Yes.
And it was like a 10-12 hour on the bike. It was probably close to 12 hours to get back.
For me, it was more like, imagine Derek was visiting you and then left and found out later that afternoon they were there and he didn't know. I was like, that would suck.
It was like there was a solid 6 hour window from when he had a hard get out of town.
Yeah. So yeah, I will say being in on stuff is fun, but God, it's hard. I'm not complaining. But like knowing, like recording with you every week and knowing.
Is that anxiety? Not spilling the beans, not letting it slip, not even like hinting at it.
Even when Jess posted her photo before they showed up at your house.
I didn't even see that. That would have
been good, because I was just like, no.
Thankfully I was just kind of zoning out watching TV.
Good. Yeah. So yeah, that was the stuff. I did know about it. It was hard to keep it from you. I don't know how many people knew, but
there's a 3 or 4 other people reached out in some capacity. Well, pretty much everyone that was on the last leg of their tours in South Dakota. Well, everyone I think that was just a general topic they talked about. It was like, hey, this is what we're doing, in a month from now when we go out to the Northeast.
And Nate being like, "Oh, I'm in New York," and and then I was like, "Are you going to Keith's?" Because then I was thinking, like, does he know too?
Yeah, no, that was actually really Nate was actually good that he said that, because that was enough of a distraction to where, like, as I was sitting around the house knowing the wife was trying to get one over on me, because she was also like super nice and helpful. Not that she's not super nice and helpful, but like, there was no negativity whatsoever that day, which is
it was like an episode of the Truman Show where she's just like, why don't you relax with these coffee beans? And you're like, what? Why are you talking like that?
So I was like, something's going on.
You're being so weird right now.
Is it my funeral today? I'm confused.
Did you bring me here to kill me?
Yeah, it's like, am I dying? Is this like my last meal? It's a blast.
I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad
was a
it went
blast.
as well as it did, and I can't wait to watch the video. I will likely watch that whole video.
It'll be a long one. I definitely
Anything over
doing this.
50 minutes and I'm out. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's gonna be every bit of. I think it was 50 minutes, honestly.
I don't even have the time in between getting home and recording this podcast to watch a 50-minute video. Like,
one thing that bugged me is like, since I was sick and my nose was running so much, for some reason I don't know. I just I trimmed I didn't shave my beard with a razor, but I trimmed it down with like the beard trimmer pretty low, and I didn't like how I looked on camera as much, which is funny because like I did that from the time Derek left and the time they got there, so I'm literally like two different people in the same day. But other than that, one thing I'm not looking forward to, um, which shouldn't happen as much on the Massonomics video page, is just like trolls being rude and douchey. I got like I go back on the Glux video now, and there's like 7 people telling me how fat I am, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm like 40 pounds bigger now, so you're gonna be really fucking hate me now, you cocksuckers. So I don't know. That's just I'm hoping I don't see any of those messages. I'm sure they're out there, but I don't need that in my life. So. And then just I don't know, being on camera, not being able to prepare, like that is one thing. The one negative I think was like a few times Tanner was like, "Well,
but
how
that was
much?"
part of it.
I know he's like, "Well, how many pounds do you have here?" And like, if I wasn't nervous, or if I had access to my spreadsheet, or if I knew I was going to do this tour, I would have like referenced all my numbers because I obviously have them on a spreadsheet and a doc and stuff, and been like, "Oh yeah, I have 29 pairs of this and 17 pairs of that and a grand total of like 7,000 pounds or something." So I was just kind of like,
Oh, I got a Massonomics home gym tour and I didn't have my spreadsheets. Man, that's you right now. That's you right now.
But no,
Had fun. 2 guys flew from across the country just to visit me at my own home gym, but I didn't have my spreadsheets. Relax, dude. It was probably great.
It was. No, it was another like
relax.
And like all in the middle of that, between Derek being there and them showing up, I bought a Mars bar and then had a crew. I bought a Mars bar off a crew who just joined crew, but he wasn't crew prior. And then I had another crew that I already agreed to pick the bar up for me and store it. So then I had to Venmo the original guy, and I was like kind of hemming and hawing. I was like, do I really want the bar? How am I going to get down there to get it? 'Cause it's like 3 hours away. But I was like, okay, well, the other guy said he could store it indefinitely. So if I don't get there for fucking 6 months, whatever, he just gets to use a Mars bar for 6 months. So I was good to be occupied throughout the day. But yeah, enough about me. That was yeah, I had a blast. We will obviously talk about it more probably when the video comes out in 9 months. And yeah. Jake's video came out today. I doubt anyone had. I was able to watch it just because I kind of had it on the background on my drive home. But it was cool. It was a long one. I think it was. I don't mind the long ones, especially. Well, let me prefer to say I don't mind the long ones when they're my friends. I don't know if I'd enjoy a long one of someone I don't know. I mean, I guess I would get to know them throughout the video, but like, there's been very few gym tours of people that I haven't like personally hugged in my life. I think most people I've had like handshakes and hugs with that have had their gyms toured at least. The crew ones at least. I like how Jake they always went back to the whole time that he almost died doing the overhead press a couple years ago, and like that's how like 3 or 4 upgrades came from to be because he like damaged some of his equipment. I enjoyed that he did have a pretty detailed story with like almost everything they asked him about.
The history is the most important of gym.
Yeah, Tommy definitely. Tommy loved that part.
That's why I don't mind when long form YouTube like that, where there's not time, everything has a story and it like follows, but things keep moving. I like those when it's like it feels like if they just edited it, then it would be a much shorter video. But that one didn't feel like there was any wasted time with what they were talking about, because like even the Husafel that they had made out of wood. Like,
I would like to actually see videos of him using that. Jake, I know you listen to this every now and then, so let's see that Hus in action, bud. A wooden Hus.
Judd Hus?
Yeah. Chris. Which Chris?
I was actually listening to that episode today.
I know
from the backlog.
What was his last name? Chris, what is Judd Hus's drummer? Chris, or well, no, bassist. What X? Why can't I think of his name? No, someone in the Discord will know, and they'll make fun of us because we've only hung out with him like 7 times. Nonetheless, yeah, a wooden Hus would be interesting to see.
I saw on the top, it looked like it was like drawer handles from like a cabinet, and that's like how you move it around. So that's kind of just crazy. Whatever you attach to it.
Indeed. Yeah, so that wraps up the YouTube video. Did Massena, so that was their video. I think we'd already talked about the other one.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think we're good to rate last week's episode. Matt, did you want to tell us about that and what kind of rating you'd give it?
Yeah, I feel like kind of how Joey is. Like my gym is a lot of weight is weight kind of thing, and it's not always like best items. Picking choosing what like I want. I kind of if it's a sale, if it's on Facebook Marketplace, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna purposely wait or save for like the best thing ever, like something that has aluminum pulleys or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Uh, Something else that was kind of interesting too is like just going off the they go on wild tangents. They're talking about hail sizes and how Americans use anything but the metric system.
That was funny.
It reminded me of like at Home Depot they have toilets there and it says like the ratings are like can flush 7 golf balls, can flush a whole bucket of
That's funny.
pool balls or something like that. So like this reminded me of that. So uh they also talked about like some of the like things that just have like knurling that just don't need it. So I'll rate it 5 out of 5. What will they knurl next?
I'll go, I
Yeah.
guess. So my bench also has knurling on it on the handle. But I have the version 2 of the fat bench from Bells of Steel, and it's an 80-pound bench. So the knurling is a little welcome, just because it does feel better. Does it add anything? I don't know, but that is not a light bench. Not that I'm even benching that heavy. I just wanted one that was stable when I benched because my previous one was all wobbly and it was just a bodybuilder bench, and it just started to hate benching on it. Um, there is one thing that Tommy said, and now that I no longer work in the industry, I'll give you some insight. The whole wait for the next one, that's in every industry. And it was one of the most infuriating things, despite being huge in the Apple scene in the cell phone industry. I would always take Apple launches off. I used to hate working during Apple launches because the most common thing you ever got was, "Do you have it? Can I see it? I'll wait for the next one." And you got that every single launch. And you'd look at them and be like during the iPhone, let's say 15 launch, right? It's too expensive. I'll wait for the next one. And I'm like, you're still using an iPhone 8. I know you're waiting for the next one. You've been waiting for the next one for, 7 years, dude. Like, we get it. So, like, I just distinctly remember when Tommy said, "Oh, wait till the next one comes out," just having like a little PTSD from my old job of, yes, that is every industry. The next one will be better. The next one, I'm not even going to buy one till the next one. It's like, yeah, then just don't buy one. Shut up. We know either buy it or don't. Shut up. Leave me alone. So I'll give that one a 5 out of 5. We used to be a proper countries.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go 5 out of 5 next ones. That would have been my go-to.
No, because I also have there was a we used to be a proper country thing that I wanted to talk about, but I talked too long.
All right. Last week's episode I enjoyed. Brief. So I've been able to get Stephanie to consume some of their podcasts just by being like, it's Sunday night, 7 o'clock. There's nothing. We've already watched all the TV that was like new episodes. So it's like, do you want to just watch the Massonomics podcast? And she's like, sure. So she'll just, she'll let me throw it on YouTube. But she kind of just plays on her phone and kind of just like consumes it in the background, but like more actively than maybe she would like 6 months to a year ago, to where like she actually like sat and listened to the majority of it, or at least 3/4 of it. And she was essentially waiting for the part where she thought they would like kind of sneak peek the upcoming trip, knowing that they were already here and everything. So the thing that really stuck out to me was outside of like the whole preview stuff, because we kind of talked about my gym enough to go over that. When they were Tanner was kind of shitting on people that like want lighter stuff, and I'm like, I get it if you're just like you're just a bro, like, but like other people use other people's home gyms. Like my wife uses my home gym, who's recovering from like massive surgery and like can't fucking hold her hands above her head for 30 seconds and put a 10-pound lat pull down bar on an attachment with shitty carabiners that she can barely open up. So like, yes, I bought a like 2-pound lat pull down aluminum thing and bought bigger carabiners, and Big Joey hooked me up with bigger carabiners from Big American Joey, stuff like that. So Tanner, not necessarily looking at things like that.
No, 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 no. And I saw your comment in Discord, and I kind of disagree with you on this.
Me too.
You're not.
I have something to say about it too. Yeah.
You're not an Instagram influencer who's telling other people how to get strong. Okay.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Neither is Stephanie. Neither is any gym reviewers. Like those are the people he was attacking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if somebody's like perfect. Okay, let's say somebody was like, "Oh, why are they building a ramp leading up into this store? I don't need a ramp. This isn't for me." And then somebody with a wheelchair walks by. That person's gonna feel like a dick, but like that person needs it. So like, you know,
Tanner, you dick.
the idea isn't that Tanner is saying nobody needs
I
lighter
know.
weights. The idea is Tanner, like, this wasn't directed at that one, and I believe they've said this before. Not every comment is directed at your one particular personal experience.
I know.
So those things exist for people like Stephanie, and that is amazing. He wasn't talking about that. He wasn't talking about accessibility. He was talking about fucking Jeff Nippard whining that his 3 pound thing went up to 5 pounds and now it's too heavy. Like, no, dude, you're jacked. Relax. Stop whining. So sorry, I just disagree with you a bit on that one because,
I
like,
know. Well,
no,
part of it is me just
definitely
giving
needs
Tanner.
it. Yes,
Part
of
of it.
course.
Part of it's me not missing the opportunity to give Tanner shit. But yeah.
And like the other side of it too is like the Redditors or like the gym reviewers and stuff like that. Some of it, like the gym reviewers, like Gluck and Coop, they have to have something to talk about and features. But like some of it has got to be marketing too. Is if one company says their feature is like it's way lighter, it's aircraft grade or something, they got to say like, well, ours is lighter than theirs. Now it's a market.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And then you're selling like luxury and be like, because I have a higher quality metal or something else like that. That's the other side of it. But yeah, you have a reason to have yours be lighter purposefully for something like that. It's just people overly focusing on those kind of things. I think that's the overrated part.
Yeah,
is that
no,
yes, I agree. Good call on that one too.
Fair.
If I buy a 20-pound barbell so my son can come lift with me, you know, like that's not me being. I wish it was lighter. Like I literally bought it for a reason because somebody needs it to be lighter.
Yeah. I think a lot of part of it is like elitism too, where people are like, well, I got the best one because it has rep on it.
It's lighter because it's lighter. So sorry, Keith, we hijacked you a bit there.
No, you're good. I'll still go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5 aluminum attachments for my wife to use and to make Tanner feel bad about himself. Love you guys.
Yeah, it's very rare that I disagree with you so thoroughly on something, but it was one of those like because I just hate influencers and I hate people that like do that shit just for content. But I am a huge proponent of accessibility and openness and like allowing room for people who maybe otherwise couldn't have access to these things to getting access. And it's like, well, no, it's like, yes, get the lighter attachment for Stephanie. That's awesome. It gets her in the gym. It makes her independent. Of course she needs it. You know, Gluck doesn't. He doesn't need it to be lighter.
I don't think Gluck lifts, so he might.
Oh, shots fired. He's not.
He doesn't squat, apparently.
Nope. When he does.
No.
Speaking of that, let's move into some affiliate ads. Obsidian's still going wild. You guys are using code unpaid left, right, and center. I love it. Travis is back from vacation. If you like the horse stall mat juice, go ahead and get some of that nose bleach juice or even the pumpkin spice latte one. That one was pretty, it's still powerful. I think I opened it a year ago and it still hurts. Use code paid at Plate Snacks. If you are ordering gym stickers or you want an unpaid and underrated banner, there's now a link on the site for the unpaid and underrated banner. That's code unpaid as well. And Belt Fed Strength, help Chris out. Oh man, I just got the worst bubbles. Helps Chris out. They just started their secondary lineup of straight up leather goods, whether it's not just lifting goods. This one does work on the strength products, not on the other stuff as far as I know. And yeah, that's code unpaid as well. I love Chris.
Matt, do you have a Massonomic sponsor read you want to hit us with?
Yes, I do. In fact, it's an original poem that I wrote.
Beautiful.
Not with Chat GPT or nothing like that.
That's what we like. Okay. We like original content here.
It feels like our bearded bones and broken sandbags were here just yesterday, but at a certain point, sunflowers start to wilt and mosquitoes go away. Summer fades to fall, those leaves descend into a sunset. In between time, Coke Zeros go flat, and we get to living hard, losing grip on horse stall mats. But that's when your good friends are there to remind you that we are all Los Campeones. So follow the guy with the wool in his hair to grasshopper around South Dakota's largest city, and we will all do it for the history. But like all good things, our names are drawn like lines in the sand. They fade away in the tides unless you hurry up. There are only 3 spots left. Join Masonomic's crew today.
Nice, well done.
Very good. Lots of imagery.
How long did you work on that one?
I kind of will go in like spurts. I wrote most of it like in about 30 minutes, and then I just kind of added and edited it here and there.
That'd be something I'd have to like almost like just basically put ideas in a notepad for like a week and then kind of just like pull from it. I mean, you could always brainstorm all at once, but like
that's how I kind of.
Yeah, there's like so much lore and there's so much stuff that's like you want to go with relevant lore and you want to throw some classic ones in there. And it's but that was really good. You kind of you hit all avenues on that, I believe.
Yeah, the lines in the sand, I like that part a lot, and then the wool in the hair, I had to include something about that.
Oh yeah, got to for sure. Well,
that's what I was going to ask when they surprised you. If that's the first thing you saw was like peeking through the window.
Tommy was the first one out the door, and I think I've already like used the joke in Discord, but I legitimately said it on the couch. Was like, yeah, no, you guys kept Tommy's wool in my eyes up until coming or something, something like that, you know. Tommy's woolly hair. Yeah, so I thought that was great, but I think that's enough for general topics. We can go ahead and kick all these looky-loos out and see if Joey can get that guest on the horn.
Big Matt, is that you?
Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me? Yes, I'm here.
Oh, great. Hi, welcome to Unpaid and Underrated. You are live. So how you doing?
Doing good. Excited to be here. Kind of all whirlwind since I joined Masonomics, and
we do that.
I'm trying to just jump in through as many hoops as I can, as quick as I can.
Okay. So is that a Hall of Fame quest you're on?
Yes. I was actually on the Q&A one. I asked what was the fastest, and they said like 8 months. I won't hit that, but if I can get it in a year, maybe.
So you had to have been almost brand new to crew then, because like I don't. When that episode hit, or when that we haven't done a Q&A in a minute, and I don't think you've been around much longer than that.
So what?
It's been this year.
So what is your body count on the Hall of Fame?
It is currently 3, including today. Still working on the 10 orders and a couple of things like that. I was going to try to attend Crew Falls this year, but it just doesn't work out with my job. But I'm going to try to knock out all the attendance one, maybe like at least 2 or 3 of them next year. Nice. I'm definitely trying to look ahead and plan for those kind of things.
Yeah, you have to. You almost got to start, because it's like, all right, talking to your partner, you're like, well, I need to spend like $700 to $1,200 per weekend. How life, and you got to start saving. You literally had to start saving up for him yesterday.
Well, like even the lift hard, like it being in July is really close to my anniversary and my birthday. So like waiting to hear about like when that actually happens, it's just like I don't want to be like, well, it's our anniversary. I'm out the door. See ya. Enjoy it by yourself.
If you go to masonomics.com, there is an event page, and I believe it was updated today with a weekend that it is going to be happening. And then if you tune in on for more details, November 11th, I believe the episode will hit that we're going to record with the Jake and Abby that'll kind of spill a lot of the beans about that whole weekend.
So yeah, it was fortunate when those kind of things line up, and I'm going to try to just jam my way through it.
So what if, hear me out, let's go spend our anniversary in this amazing town called the Dean, South Dakota, where storybooks come true. You sell it. You got to sell it.
A wonderful land. The Dean.
And like with that too, like this year she's been getting more into lifting, and she's been like fully supporting me in a lot of different ways. But like I'm like, Lift Hard Live Easy is probably your best opportunity for your first meet. Like,
yep,
I could get her ready for that one.
Yeah, we rather have crew and crew adjacent than just like randoms there. So I would love to see more spouses come and lift, even if they're not really into Masonomics. Just
it's a great opportunity. Couple.
There you go.
All right. So what brought you to Masonomics? How'd you hear about this? How'd you see this?
Well, it started just most people, the algorithm kind of hits you and you see some of the posts. It was like 2017-ish. I was seeing like the verses or the rookie cards and stuff like that. And that was like first when I got onto Instagram and just seeing some of that, I was like, this is good meme content. I enjoy this kind of stuff. And it was just kind of, they were always kind of in the background. Some of the other meme ones, like they're good here or there, but they were like quality across the board often. So I was like, they were always in the background. What kind of pushed me to actually start listening to the podcast and being more involved was when the CTF started coming out, and I was just trying to find another podcast to listen to. So it was pretty quickly when they announced the CTFs like last year, and I was listening to podcasts, and I kept missing when the actual time they were like
Oh, yeah,
released.
because they all sold out. Like, if you
Yeah,
weren't in the know, like Crew had like 80% of them bought before they went live, and any emails went
yeah.
out.
So like that was kind of what was happening, and I was like, well, I'm missing this because I'm not crew. I got third round on CTFs, and then once I got that, it was like February. I started buying like a shirt here or there. I met a guy actually at a strongman competition I did that also had a CTF, so I was kind of getting like a crew test drive part of the way through. I
Uh,
was like, oh yeah, you're cool. We have some of the same jokes, and
just
then
for some of
after
our
that,
just for some of our non-acronym friendly guests, you just want to explain on what a CTF is real quick, if in case they're
like a certified training facility,
exactly.
like
Yeah.
on the map of like all
Yep,
the
nope. It is.
home gyms. Yeah.
I think I just figured there might be like one person out there listening that just doesn't put
There's
two and two
always
together.
one. What
So
is
like,
we
yeah.
used to be what is the WUTBAPC? Like I don't understand.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say CTF, but like the context, I knew what it was instantly, but like I don't think we use that one often enough or at all. But maybe we do. Maybe I just didn't see it. But yeah, good deal.
I've seen Tanner use it here and there as far as like, or at least he uses the acronym because it's typing out the whole thing. So
Yeah,
I just
a minute.
used to call it that.
It works.
Uh, it was actually in August, I believe, and that's what pushed me to finally join. Was I had a guy that is crew message me and say like, "Hey, I saw your gym on the certified training. You mind if I come by your gym and come lift?"
That's awesome.
I was like, okay, cool. I checked his profile. It's a private profile. And I'm like, I don't know this guy. I'm going to
Mm.
request him. And then I talked to him, message him for 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, this guy's cool. He's going to come by. And we had like a great time. I was like, this is awesome. If this is like not even being in it yet, and then I'm
Hmm.
having this good of a time, it was like 5 minutes and we were like best of friends.
Nice.
And I
And
was like,
who
I
do
got, if,
you want to name drop who that was, or see if someone we're
that was
familiar
Big
with?
Adam. Yeah, he's Big Adam uh, on Discord. And then he posted it on the Discord. I saw like he shared a screenshot of it. And I was like, well, I'm 90% of the way there. I might as well just start giving him $3 a month.
Yep.
So I joined and I was like, okay, this is, and it's been
Just kicking
a
yourself in the
flood
ass for
ever
not being here
since.
the last
Yeah,
four
I was
years.
like, I've been missing it.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is what
you're
I needed.
so just so people know, who are you on Discord? I'm fairly certain I'm aware.
And Instagram.
On Discord, I'm Dirt McGirt, ODB reference. Just last name being Sanchez is a reference to Dirty. And then on Instagram, I'm Fit Matt Fat Matt.
Nice. I am familiar with both of those.
Correct.
They're both
ODB, Dirt McGirt.
Uh,
That was in between ODB and Big Baby Jesus. He was Dirt McGirt.
Matt, where do you live? Where are you from?
I live in Spokane, Washington, and I'm originally from Lubbock, Texas, kind of Panhandle. Uh, Came up to here for the Air Force, and just liked it here so much and decided to stay. Yeah, Army brat, and then moved back to Lubbock, Texas, Panhandle, basically South Oklahoma,
Okay.
flat, dirty.
So that's a decent amount of crew in Washington then, because do you know where you are in correlation to Big Joe or Big? Well, no, there's two Joeys out there now, right? Big Joe
Yeah,
DeShazer and then Big Joey Echeverria.
Joe DeShazer is in Olympia, so it's more like Seattle area, kind of down south from there. And there's also a guy kind of central in an area called Tri Cities, Nero Pavlo. He was actually the guy I met in the in at the strongman competition. As soon as I had my CTF visit, my training facility visit, I said, you got to get in on crew too. So I
Oh, nice. You've
pulled him
already
over
indoctrinated.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Cool. That's cool. And like a rookie basically gets someone
Tanner
in.
loves to hear it.
Yep.
Just on the other side of
Oh, he just hears cha-ching.
That's another $3. On on the west side of or east side of Washington. Yeah.
Gotcha. So not super
Idaho.
close, but
Yeah,
close.
I'm Idaho adjacent.
Gotcha.
And then there, on the other side of Idaho, there's Deadlifting Jesus and Big West. That's on
Okay.
just
Yeah,
outside.
I saw you posted a picture of Big West, and I think I'm pretty sure I met him. He was at Lift Hard Lifty, wasn't he?
Yeah, he said that was his first meet.
Nice.
He went to I went and visited his gym as well.
That's awesome. Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
I love hearing crew. I love crew that live anywhere close to each other meeting up. Like that's awesome. I'd live for that. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So being, we'll call you a rookie here, and then you haven't even hit your 10 orders yet. So you probably have a long list of things that you're trying to get your hands on. So what's that one thing you've seen your buddies wearing or seen on Instagram that you went to go buy and it's just not there?
Some of the big hitters like the Yeah Buddy, some of those like that. But the one that's like is going to like the original crew member, Dodd's red lift hat with the black lettering.
Yeah.
I'm very much a hat guy. I got like 60, 70 hats. Like if I get my hands on a red lift hat, that's the one. That's the holy grail for me right now.
They haven't done a hat. I don't think I don't know. I don't think it's done a hat.
But I'm not supposed to buy them. I'm not supposed to buy them.
Yeah, don't buy their hats.
Nope.
No, he said never say never or something like that when somebody asked about bringing back hats.
It's never say never about anything. Like I think I can't remember if I did I already make a meme or if I hadn't, I'm going to just like a stock template of Tanner's face with never say never on it and just post that anytime someone asked like, is this coming back?
Yeah, and
it's like a Tanner soundboard of some of those.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get Tanner sounds from Nate.
Tanner bot. Yeah, you'll never get that hat though.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure you listened to Dodds' episode.
I just want a goddamn like OG Massonomics t-shirt that just says Massonomics with like the original logo.
Nah, live in the future, man.
No.
So that's like I said, holy grail. Like I'm never gonna see it. Like if I feast eyes upon it, or if it anywhere touches my head, I might melt or something like that. I'm not worthy.
So what is obviously you have a CTF. Actually, well, is it CTF or CT? Is it Certified Training Facility? Because we have it in our
CTF.
Well, I'm only saying we need to go back and edit our initial doc because we have it as Certified Training Center. So
who did that?
Probably you. You fucked shit up all the time. It might have been me, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have put CTF. I would have never put Certified Training Center. I ain't typing all that.
Yeah.
Writing out no essays. That was you.
Note to self: go back into my my blank doc that I copy everything into for each week to change that one. So what's
you were about to ask too? Is it CTF or CTC? It's like don't Keith, don't.
So what's the name of your fancy one out there in Idaho adjacent?
It's the buffet, and I've considered.
That's really funny.
I've considered getting a second one because I have. We live in a split level, and I have a secondary gym area that I call the snack bar.
Do I need?
So I have the buffet and the snack bar. It's a detached garage kind of thing. But yeah, buffet, the fat mat thing. It kind of relates. Buffet, the word like the play on words, buff and all that.
Oh, I dig it. I do enjoy that.
All you can eat weights.
If you get one, if you ever buy one, I'll think about buying one.
He's never gonna stop. He's got so many food puns for his gym. Did we ever talk about how me and Steve used to make random names for like when I first started lifting? Because I saw somebody on Instagram.
Oh, like you didn't know what the name of like exercises was or something?
No. So I saw somebody on Instagram bragging about how they used to be able to lift 2 discs. Now they can lift 2 discs. And I sent it to Steve and I was like, what the fuck is a disc?
Yeah.
And then when we were like working out together, we would start calling plates suggested servings, and it was only 45s. So it'd be like throw 3 suggested servings on that.
That's actually that's a new story. Actually, I think I haven't heard that. I don't think I've heard that one.
Yeah, that was me and Steve like right before COVID almost.
That is good stuff. Big Matt. Let's see. You had about 10 people submit the questionnaire, so I
Yeah,
appreciate
like a
that.
lot.
Well, my coach submitted twice somehow, or unless he had more to say.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
It all compiles into like one copy
Yeah.
paste thing, and it's not.
Okay.
I don't like we don't see who submitted what without like spending a lot of time in the doc. So like I'm not like actively saying, "Hey, Joe Schmo asked this one and Joe Schmo asked that one." But generic question basically is just when you did send out the questionnaire, well, did you keep it simple of like, "Hey, just answer this for me," or do you have to explain Massonomics and then explain you and you, or how'd that go in general?
I think most of my family and friends know that I'm like into like whatever I'm into, it's either like a little off center or just a little bit different or just like not the normal like mainstream kind of thing. Just being a self-admitted hipster on things. I think they just knew that like if I said like I'm on a podcast about lifting stuff, they were like, good enough. Whatever you're into.
Nice.
They just went with that,
Good
and
enough.
that's what I tell people. And like if I make a joke in Discord, I'll reference it to like my coworkers, and I'll be like, "That podcast about a podcast I'm on."
That's funny.
That's what I'm talking about.
So the only reason I always said every week, but one thing stuck out to me because someone in the one of the submissions specifically, I think, mentioned like your podcast talking about us, but I think they were still talking about Massonomics just because of that reference. Because I was like, I don't think they know who we are. So he probably most people just say, hey, you know that Massonomics thing? Like I'm going to be on a podcast kind of like that, just to make it simple. But it is always cool to hear that story because this is like it is somewhat invasive. Like if you see the question, like you filled out the questionnaire yourself, it's like pretty like not invasive, evasive, no, invasive. Invasive is like deep, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's invasive questions.
We gotta
I know.
okay, so we gotta clean this up a little bit because so the way that it comes in is the docs it names everybody and then in a second paragraph says who they are. So like you could technically be like Joaquin Joe Sanchez is coach friend fellow like lifter. All right, but you have to like jump back and forth. But I do want to point out the very very important thing about commas because in here it says younger brother parentheses 11.5 months younger parentheses comma cousin comma sister-in-law comma cousin. If those commas weren't there,
Like,
I
where are you
would have
from?
been very confused. Also, somebody named Raccoon put some stuff in here.
Yeah, that's another one of my cousins. He so quick aside, he's trying to go to the Arnold dressed as a raccoon in a raccoon suit, and
Mm.
I've
he's got
definitely
an
seen
Instagram
furries at
too.
the Arnold, so he'll fit in.
But it's like a raccoon like Halloween costume with where you can see his face, and he gets like a certain amount of followers or something. It's raccoon reps on Instagram.
That's funny.
Shouting out somebody else's Instagram, but
That's all
I
good.
yeah he's trying to get like 10K followers or something, and he'll wear a raccoon costume to the Arnold next year. So that's another reason for me to get another check mark,
Yeah, get
another
to come
Hall of Fame thing.
make
Go see
just
him with his
laugh at your cousin in
raccoon.
person.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we're moving this along. We got are you familiar with least fun, most fun? A little game we play here.
yeah. You just give me a subject, and I tell you both like what is the least and most fun about each one, or about
Beautiful.
the specific one.
First person to get that one in a few weeks. So yes. Least fun, most fun. And this one might be a little curveball. So like explain to us what it is and then your answers for anyone that's not familiar. So least fun, most fun. Consuming Fred Meyer holiday commercials.
So that must have been my wife.
Yeah.
Uh, the most fun about them is
Well, like I'm not familiar, or if I am, I'm not aware of
okay.
them. Are you familiar? Yeah, yeah.
Fred Meyer is a pretty big grocery store, kind of somewhere between a grocery store and an department store. They're huge. They're like a fancy Walmart, I
Okay.
think.
Mm.
But
Target adjacent.
yeah. Uh, but it's like somewhere between all that and a Costco. Like
Okay.
it's that big. They'll have like a full on like clothing section, like with like everything in it, and
Gotcha.
like home goods and stuff like that. Basically a Walmart.
Yep.
Uh,
Fancy Walmart. Heard.
yeah.
And
Anytime around the holidays, they have commercials with these little cartoon characters with just these nubby little fingers that just they're just so like obnoxiously adorable and cute looking, and then they'll have like the most sentimental, like pull at your heartstrings kind of thing. And I'm such a baby that every time I see one about those kind of things, like I'll start to tear up. It's just like I'm the biggest baby about like sweet sentimental family stuff, and Christmas and Thanksgiving. Those are like my favorite holidays.
Nice.
So
least fun, most fun.
So the most fun about those is that like I just get excited about when they come up, and they're really cool, and they feel like it's an ad, but it's like I'm not cynical about it. So it's a nice thing not to be cynical about those kind of things. But the least fun about that is that like I know it's coming up, and my wife will look at me when she sees a commercial coming up, and she's like, "I know this is gonna get you," and I'll be like, "Yep, yep." Like I've seen this one before, but it's still like those stupid little cartoons didn't have to be that adorable this year. But they did. They did. Everybody showed up for Thanksgiving for this family.
You did. I'm glad that. I enjoyed that. That was a good. That was. I'm glad that hit well.
So I assume Fred Meyer is not the answer to this next question. So who's your hype person for your next big lift? Living, dead, past, present.
I don't know.
I would firstly, I would like my wife would probably be the first one. The couple of times that she's been able to come to some of my powerlifting meets or strongman, some of the texts that she'll just send like while I'm like if I like fail a lift or I don't perform as well, it just kind of brings me back to center. But she doesn't also hold any punches. It's like, yeah, that performance you sucked on the Hercules hold, do better the next one. And it's like honest enough, but still supportive. My coach does the same thing, but since I've lifted with my wife, like anytime I've hit a PR in the buffet or something like that in my home gym, she's been awesome. So she would probably be number one on there. So she would be my hype person.
Good answer.
Smart answer.
Yep, smart answer. Okay. Tell me why you get called Dirt so much.
You know why. You know why.
I don't have a mustache right now. My wife doesn't like when I grow a mustache, but my last name is Sanchez. And when I went to basic training, when I joined the Air Force, everyone has a nickname, and everyone like just how we just gained that camaraderie and Dirty Sanchez. And finding Wu-Tang was a good thing because then I can go Dirt McGirt and go that route. So that's where last name Sanchez is the big reason why.
Okay.
But since I did the Fit Matt Fat Matt thing, and that's what everybody sees, and most people that I work with now, I'm more Fat Matt than Dirt or Dirty lately.
So is your last name actually Sanchez?
Yeah.
Okay, so like that brings
it's not
context.
Just because not just because I'm Hispanic, I guess.
No, I just thought there was a ton of references happening I was missing out on.
No.
But so wait, you had a mustache, and they were like, "Your last name is Sanchez." Dirty. Oh yeah, you're the Dirty Sanchez. That makes
Yeah.
I bet they call people.
That's so easy. Boo.
He probably doesn't have to have a mustache to have still got the same name. But
that's low-hanging fruit
for sure.
Yeah, he's got a mustache. His name is Sanchez. Oh, Dirty Sanchez. Like, Sanchez old. Oh, like we get
it. So you mentioned the Air Force. Is that what your 9 to 5 currently is? Is that what you still do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
So it's what brought me up here to Washington. For
Idaho adjacent.
Yeah. For 11 years, I was my job was ammo in the Air Force. So I was here, and we basically are customer service to give people bullets and that kind of stuff. I don't do that anymore, but I do something very similar. It's a supply job. So anything that anybody needs to fix a plane or training gear, that's my main job right now, is messing with the training gear for like gas masks and stuff like that. That's I joined the Guard 3 years ago. So I liked Washington so much, I decided to stay here, join the Guard. That's what I do now.
That's so cool. At the beginning of the year, I went to the London Air Show, and they bring up a lot of American planes. And I think it's called the Osprey. Is that the one that can go from helicopter to airplane?
Yeah, the
propellers rotate up and down.
Yeah.
I love that plane. I've never felt more
It's so
autistic
cool
in my
looking.
life.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. This one's fast. Cool. This one's big. And then I saw that thing and I was just like, I'm obsessed with this for the next 24 hours. Like, so we went and met the pilot and everything like that. Yeah, that's
So are you
No,
dope.
air
in?
shows are cool. Air shows are cool. We had a couple up here, and it was the first time I got to see like the F-35, and it could do the VTOL, the vertical takeoff and lift, but like it will do this in the air. It's like a kid playing with like a little
Ugh.
toy.
Yeah.
It can do that kind of flying, and it's like mind blowing. We live in the future. Future's now.
Actually, what's funny is I live right by the Canadian National Warplane Heritage Museum. And it is not uncommon to see warplanes flying over my house. It is, and you never stop. Like you never stop stopping what you're doing to look up and try and
It's like,
guess what plane it
ah.
is. Yep. Four propellers. That's got to be the Lancaster. Like every single time. Sorry, that was fun. I don't think I've ever talked about that. So
As far as lifting, so lifting to get in the military, lifting throughout the military, did you lift in high school? Let me hear all that.
I was not much of a lifter until deployments because there's nothing else to do. So I grew up as a soccer player, only kind of joining and doing soccer stuff because I like to do all the tricks, the juggling and stuff like that. I like that more than I like playing soccer. Just like old school YouTube videos, set to Remember the Name, that rap song by was it Fort Minor? So it was those. It was like highlights and stuff like that. But my lifting came in much later.
Mm-hmm.
Living in the dorms, I just like the Burger King being next down the road, Domino's being able to deliver all the time. Just went off the deep end, and I was like, at some point, I gotta start getting back in shape. If I'm gonna be in the military, I gotta get back in shape. So on deployments, I was like, I'm gonna get strong, and figure this out. Got introduced into like more heavy lifting, and I just tried a little bit of everything, but just shooting for like in 2017, shooting for the 1,000 pound club. I was like, okay, I'm
Nice.
going to like build that up, and just started working on that. So like 2017, came back, and they have the SEER search evasion. It's just like basically a special ops here in Washington. Um, they have a nice like CrossFit style gym, and it has like every bar that you could want, everything that you could, like a big rig, logs, pit shark, everything. I was like, all this stuff is just super duper cool. I love every piece of it. I just uh YouTubed everything I could find and figured out everything. And I was like, I want to know everything. I want to do everything, and just powerlifting, strongman, and just never look back.
Nice. Did you do what do you for coaching or anything right now? Are you on any of the juggernauts? You just kind of self do your own thing, or?
For the most part, I'm on this. The Boost Camp app is just one that came off of Reddit. I've thought about Jug and might eventually go to that at some point. But for the most part, leading up to a couple of competitions, had a coworker that I used to work with back in my old job, who's very big into powerlifting. He's gone to USPA nationals, PLU nationals. James Koenig, he's one of the people who responded on the questionnaire. He's been my coach, and I throw him a little bit of money. He's got his couple certifications, and he knows a lot about lifting. He doesn't pull any punches on like keeping me accountable on stuff. So leading up to some competitions, I go with him, and he kind of helps me dial in and not, because I'm like a huge overthinker on things, and I will give reasons why I can't or why I should do this, why I should change that. Put it in his hands and let him run with it. Yes, you say it, I'll go do it.
Nice.
that's what's nice about Juggernaut is I also will talk myself in and out of things. But if I just open it up and it goes, this is what you're doing today, it's so much easier because then I'm just like, this is what I'm doing today. Right? It takes that overthinking out of it.
Yeah.
Which I think would be the other way around. Like somebody telling you what to do. You're just like, no, you're not the boss of me. But no, it's the opposite. You're just like, oh, the numbers are there. I got this.
Yeah.
The moment the app is like, calculate your percentage of this and this and this, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that shit. Right? Like just immediately I'm not doing any of that. I'll find something else to do, something more fun, like lift this rock.
Yeah. If he gives me something, then it's all on my other side to be like, okay, now I can focus on some other things like my diet, my sleep, and all those other things. Like he says I can do this, it means that he thinks I can do this, and it's in my realm of possibility. But I should need to be prepared to actually show up when it's time to do those. If I don't eat enough, then I go in and I'm like, hey, I don't have it today. He'll be like, figure it out kind of thing. And I'll be like, shit, you're right. Okay. I probably should have ate more today. Okay. I'm gonna knock it out. So like that's been a huge thing because he'll hold my feet to the fire in that way, and that's awesome. I appreciate that a lot.
So this thing behind you with the crazy lines.
It's a mirror.
No, those ones I know. The other one is that the pantry.
Oh, it's a pantry. Yeah, it's a wallpaper that we put on it. This is just a cabinet.
Oh, okay.
It's just a white flat pack cabinet that we spruced up and made a little more aesthetic.
So you didn't do that?
My wife did.
Okay, but you used to be artistic.
Yeah. More like what my biggest thing was like graffiti is what I used to draw more of.
That's so cool.
It was primarily in sketchbooks. I've tagged like 2 things in real life.
We found Banksy, guys. We found him.
It's me. I'm him. Dirt McGirt, Fit Matt, Fat Matt. Same guy.
Yeah, all the same guy. That's great. So what are you up to now? I'm seeing, obviously you're into poetry.
Yeah, primarily writing is my biggest one that I will do. Poetry primarily, some narrative stuff, done a couple of things. Writing a novella that I've gotten 70 pages in and haven't looked at it in 3 years. Couple things like that. A couple of things I wrote for school as I was.
Is this all stuff you just have on your computer, or do you have like a public blog that it goes to, or anything like that?
I do have a public blog, but that's more related to some of the
to getting a rogue affiliate, right?
Yeah. I have one gym related thing on that thing, but it's mostly about like Stoic philosophy. Just because during the pandemic and everything, it's just easy. Like I found something that I could glom onto and learn a whole lot about was
Stoicism.
Stoic philosophy. Yeah.
Who didn't get into that during the pandemic like that? I saw such a huge rise in Stoicism.
Can't control anything. What's the philosophy about that? Oh, Stoicism. So I have on Substack, it's Stoic Poetic, and I write about that kind of stuff. And I made one actually about powerlifting about that.
That's cool.
And I also wrote one about Alanis Morissette's song "Ironic," how it actually is ironic, but yet to know what ironic means, kind of thing, and like the different forms of irony. So I wrote that as well. So that's where most of my writing goes to right now, is that, and then poetry.
Nice, that's cool. It's cool.
Like how the whole song is, she's listing things that aren't ironic, so therefore the entire song is ironic. Is that your?
Yeah, that's a part
end
of
thesis.
Yeah, but there's also like some of the Greek plays and stuff like that. It was like irony was like the gods interfering, and like the humans didn't have control. And all parts of the song is just like crazy things that happen. Well, that's the gods interfering and affecting her life, and making the irony that we have control over our own life. Back to Stoicism.
Great Canadian, Alanis Morissette. Great Canadian.
Let's hear about these cats. I saw a couple of people commented about your love for your cats. Your affection.
There's cats. Are they there? Can we see them?
I wish. I'm not seeing it. I saw like 3 different sweet ass cats at work today that were like super mellow. It was actually kind of cool.
My wife holds herself up in the office, and I think the cats are with her. So they're both in there.
Rude.
She said no cats for you guys.
How dare she?
Don't show our cats.
I got 2 Siamese cats. They actually have an Instagram themselves.
Oh, nice.
That I haven't posted on in 2 years.
You slacker. That's not very stoic. Or is it? Huh? Google stoic.
Yeah, they're both Siamese. One, Jacali, his name is, based off of a Belgian chocolate company, because my mother-in-law named him.
And is there do you abbreviate that or shorten that up at times, or you literally say that every time? That seems like a mouthful.
We call them Boops. We call them Japoops. There's a million names.
So everything except the name that your mother-in-law picked.
Okay.
Cat. Hey, cat.
Yeah.
And then we have another Siamese that's a chubby one. Her name's Willow. So her nickname goes like Willow Pillow and a couple bunch of other things. So yeah, 2 Siamese cats. Instagram Siamese siblings.
Oh, that's cute.
That is adorable.
It's Willow Boops. That's that's Instagram.
Did I want to hear about you dressing up as Johnny Depp from Willy Wonka for a some kind of high school dance.
That must have been my mom. Back in 8th grade, it's 8th grade banquet. Got a limousine for like a couple of my friends and stuff like that. And dressing up. Yeah. At Spencer's, I think they had the Willy Wonka jacket. And I was like, that's
Spencer's
super cool. Around. Yeah. It was like the velvet, like Johnny Depp jacket. And I was like, that's super cool. I want that. I got it. Got the goggles and everything, dressed in the shirt. And I was like, I'm going to this thing as Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka. So I had everything decked out, and I had longer hair back then, like shoulder length. And it was strained and like perfectly like bobbed like his was in the movie. So I was the cool guy for that 8th grade banquet, and I rolled up in the limousine dressed as Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka.
Nice, cool beans. I hear you have a impression of Christopher Walken and Joe Dirt. Is that something you wanted to share with the listeners?
Oh my god!
Put you on the spot there.
I'm not even that like good at impressions.
I don't know. Someone says impressions. We got to hear it. We only had a handful of guys do impressions, so
it's as good as anybody else's Christopher Walken, where they emphasize like I stabbed him in the face with cyanide. Like you just emphasize a lot of the different parts of the like. It's not even that good. It's just as good as anybody else's.
Yeah, it worked.
It's the easy ones, right? There's the Christopher Walken, the Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's what's the other easy one? Will Shatner.
Yeah,
right. Those are all the easy ones. I was doing
Will Shatner.
I was doing Christopher Walken today at work. Because I walked in and somebody was listening to Don't Fear the Reaper. Yeah, and just immediately, I got a fever. The only prescription is more cowbell. Yeah. But, I mean, it's always fun to do impressions. It's one of those things we always wanted to ask everybody every episode was, do you have impressions? Do you do anybody else?
No, my wife actually just said I went from Christopher Walken to Colonel Sanders in the middle of that impression.
She's listening, making fun of you.
I was just walking around doing Bane for no reason today at work too. I don't know why.
That's another thing that got me into lifting was Tom Hardy's Bane. I was like, he's a short dude that's jacked as hell. I'm 5'9". I'm on the low end of average height. I'm gonna get jacked.
Yeah, buddy. You merely adopted the dog. I was born into it, molded by it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what I'm doing while you guys were talking is I was adding things to unpaid and underrated. So, pardon me if I seem distracted.
Good.
I'm not usually this awake during these. So like,
I'm
suddenly so prepared.
It's only your second time, I think, doing the 7 o'clocker.
I'm suddenly so prepared and energetic, and I'm just like, I got all the things. Let's talk more. Let's hyperfixate on impressions for a minute. Yeah.
So the whole let's get into the fit mat, fat mat. Is that so? Did you end up changing your Instagram just kind of to be like witty, or was that always what it was? Because I kind of take us through your journey. Is that something? Is it more of a bit, or was it something you actually kind of like
It's always been that. When I first I want another accountability machine was the Instagram thing, or another spot to be creative as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like I was trying to come up with names, and I didn't want to do the dirt thing again because again the easy joke and stuff like that. I wanted something that I could take on further, and like the two sides of me, the fit mat and the fat mat. Like I like to lift, and I like doing like things that are just like about seeing how fit I can get, but I like enjoying things in life and things that like food, like really good things, and that's like my other like face is the fat mat side of like I want to binge on not binge but like indulge is the more appropriate word on things. So I was like, that's the two sides of me, fit mat, fat mat, and just like powerlifting and like strongman puts them in the same lane together. So like That's where that name came from. Came from my wife again.
Nice.
She's the she's all my good ideas are from her.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When she did tell us another thing that you really like to indulge in, and she has to kind of put a throttle on you to keep you from doing it too much, is going to knick-knack stores and Goodwills and all that. And she said your whole house would be full of random shit if she lets you run wild with the credit card.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of little things like that, Legos and stuff like that. I have like 20 Lego cars, but like that's where a lot of that stuff is funneled into the gym. Just like little random toys of uh just like different things I'm interested in. I have like a Skeletor, like one of the big bobblehead looking toys or whatever, a couple of those guys. So I let all those kind of things go there. Just like little cute little like porcelain things or anything else like that. Like knickknacks are cool. I like being able to collect that kind of stuff. I'm a big I've throughout my life I've always been kind of a big collector of things.
That would
Yeah.
be me in Halloween decorations. I have to get talked out of that a lot. Like,
There
oh,
was
look at this stupid little skeleton. Oh, look, it's shaped like a mouse. Oh, that's so funny. Just no, you don't need a plastic skeleton mouse in the house. Yeah.
What do you think about those like 10-foot skeletons people have? Like the
I'm
giant ones people put in the yards.
so I'm for them. There's a new one now that is like a demon zombie guy, and its eyes light up, and that one's been kind of escaping, and everybody's been, if they have one, they usually have the other. But I don't think I would take it down. I would just leave that up and probably like, oh, it's Christmas, put a hat on it. Like I would just,
You need to put a beard on that one too. Like your one from Lift Hard, Live Easy.
That is funny. Yeah,
that would be funny.
that would be. Get a giant one. It would actually be witty. So you have a deal with your wife, it looked like, that she can get as many tattoos as you have or something like that? Is there a story there? Do you have a
Yeah,
lot of tattoos? I can't really, do you have
it's
a lot of
mostly
tattoos?
like my arm, where I have most of them. Decent one size on my back, one on my thigh.
Oh,
Uh,
you have a giant panther, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, there was I had probably like 4 or 5, but she had zero 2 years ago. And now she has like 14.
Oh, damn.
All by the same artist, but like as soon as I was like, it was a flash special they did during Valentine's Day. She got just a little bleeding heart, just like right here. And she was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then she kept just like, "Well, should I plant another one?" And then she got another one. And then like she'll get one, and it's just like the outline is like, "Well, in 2 days I can get one somewhere else." Uh, and then she'll get another one. So she has mostly a leg sleeve done after having zero tattoos two
That's
years
wild.
ago.
That's how it starts. Like, yeah, I'm decked out. I got the fridge magnets going, right? Which where it's just like just slapped on different dumb things.
Yeah, the first like 4 or 5 were like trying to have meaning behind them, and like this is why I got this one. And then eventually it got to the point where I got a frog riding a motorcycle because that looks cool as hell. I want a frog riding a motorcycle.
I wanted a lightning bolt and had $100. There's a lightning bolt.
Perfect. Yeah, the shop we go to, they have all the artists and all their flash things, and there's a bunch of different types of artists there. I'm like, no, now I'm a collector. I want one from every single one of them. Like
Aw.
I saw that flashy, saw that flashy. So let me get something off your flashy, and then let's do original piece. That's 2 pieces right there. That's the way I go with it.
Sorry, Keith. I kept interrupting
No,
you
no,
there.
no, no, no. I was trying to segue into something I thought it was gonna be more funny because he said pieces, but what he was cooking wasn't something you would eat in pieces. So, have you figured out the difference between baking soda and baking powder yet?
No, geez.
You want to tell us that
uh,
one?
my wife does primarily most of the cooking. I like learning about cooking and getting better at it, but it's just kind of a regular thing that I cook breakfast in the morning on Sundays.
Yeah.
So following a recipe, and I thought I was making pancakes and did one for the other. I couldn't tell you which one was which or which one I got wrong, the soda or the powder. But I made the pancakes and they wouldn't rise, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Taste these, and she's like, these are crazy acidic. These taste terrible. Like my tongue's burning. And it's like she looked at it and she's like, did you use this one instead of this one? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be baking. Yeah, because baking. I'm not a cook either, but baking soda is That's the shit you put in your fridge to fucking keep
Yeah.
odors away. So I can't imagine that would be acidic.
So I did the wrong one, and the pancakes were completely inedible.
It
So I was
sounds
like,
like it.
and I've another one that I don't know, she put in there. The flour and the powdered sugar weren't labeled, so I was trying to bake something else, and I put multiple cups of powdered sugar, and that flour would not mix, would not combine.
Hmm.
Completely the wrong thing. So I'm not great at baking. Cooking's okay. Baking is a science project.
You know, I'm gonna do one thing here, and it's a little out of the ordinary. You know, we request submissions all the time from people, okay? And a lot of the time they're gonna be silly, they're gonna be stupid, they're gonna be inside jokes. We get a lot of the same stuff over and over again. And a lot of the time we also get that this person's a good person. Like, we get that in every single submission. This person is a good person. They're
Except
a
for
great
that one guy
person.
who is a piece of shit, you know. But you know, we won't name names.
Yeah, we won't name any names. You know who you are, though.
Yeah.
And normally we would filter through these and we would, but there is one submission here. And I'm gonna do something out of the ordinary. I'm gonna read this fully. You don't have to tell any stories. You don't have to, but I think I just want to see or hear you react to this one. Because when I was reading this, I reacted. Okay. You can tell us who this is after. I used to call myself Super Santos. When I was a kid, and I tied towels or bed sheets around my neck as a kid and jumped from the top bunk and landed on my feet. One time, my mom came running into the room because she heard a loud thud and a scream. Matt was lying face first on the floor crying. He told our mom he tried, but he couldn't fly like me. Little does he know, I've been trying to fly like him ever since. That is so emotional and so heartfelt. And like I said, normally we get that this person's a good person. And like, sure, we're all good people. That's why we're a crew. But I really wanted you to hear that submission because that was gorgeous.
Well, it is very nice, but fuck that guy because that's my brother. He's 11 months younger than me. In high school,
Irish twins.
In high school, I'm turning the same thing right back around on him. I'm a year older than him. I'm a grade above him, and I had some of his friends coming up to me and like, "Oh, you're Santos' brother?" It's like, "No, he's my brother. I'm the older one." So there was a lot of times growing up, we did have sibling rivalries, and it might have been more my side than anything. Of like, he's very more gregarious, very outgoing person, and I just kind of was like in my own little world. But like, it's like we're close enough in age; we're basically the same age. That it's a lot of that kind of thing where there might be jealousy one way or another, and probably mostly me. But with that, like, it's cool to hear him say something like that. And he's somewhat of a writer, or he considers himself a writer too. Mm-hmm. And that he would write something so like that Fred Meyer commercial that pinprick to my heart, pull those heartstrings. He's been getting into lifting too, and I'm telling him to join crew. So that's going to be his get back, is that he has to join crew now. And that because the Lift Hard Live Easy next year is going to be around his birthday. That has to be his first meet too.
All right. Only if he comes out as Super Santos.
Yeah, he has to come. He has to do strongman. He has to come up with the cape. But yeah, no, that's super awesome, and I appreciate that, and that's super awesome. I like hearing that. That's a nice thing to hear.
Thank you.
That would be dope.
Thank you.
So thank you for sharing that.
Like I said, I read that last sentence and I was just like, this is somebody who clearly loves this guy.
I'm glad you caught that because I
was a good writer.
I think I read like 80% of it and just kind of trickled out and didn't get the last line that kind of sent it home. So that's good stuff. That would be cool. Does he consume anything Massonomics at all, or is it just
it's only been as of late of things that I share or mention, because I try to make, because I've been giving him and a couple of friends from high school, I've been giving them advice on like lifting stuff, and I mentioned that weight is a number, heavy is a feeling. And they were like, "Oh my god, that is so good. Where'd you come up with it?" And I like showed my band. I was like, "It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I can't take credit for that one."
Yeah. Make sure you remind them to listen to Massonomics on how to get strong, stay strong, and use your strength.
That's step one.
Yeah.
How old are you, Matt?
33.
Okay, good. Yeah,
So
sometimes I always like to like give people's
32.
ages, but a lot of times I just glaze over it.
Yeah.
That would be cool because like I was sure when you mentioned getting your brother, and if you get your brother into crew, I was trying to like name all the sibling crew that we have, and other than Jake and his brother, like I don't.
Do the Phillips count?
No, they're all cousins or like spouses.
No, you got Ryan and Tommy.
Yeah, but
Ryan never talks.
the caveat of that is Ryan nor Tommy are supporting members, so I can't really count that. You know what I mean? Like
Ryan was in the
Ryan's in Discord because he helped Tommy set it up, but I don't think he's a paid. Whatever. I mean, been a gym member for fucking 15 years, so who cares? But like, he's technically not a supporter. To my knowledge, last time I talked to him about it, he was not a paying supporting member. Just because I don't know, it'd be some people like that have been that close to them so long. It's kind of like, well, I'm not going to start randomly giving them. Yeah, I've been giving him $60 for 15 years to be a gym member. Why would I give him $3 a month because I?
Yeah, he pays his gym dues. I think that's enough.
I get it, but it's like as far as like legitimately being supporting members. I put the caveat as in like they are not.
To put them in the spreadsheet.
So I am. So yeah, anyone listening, if you have a sibling in crew, let us know because I'm very curious. I'd like to, just be aware of how many crew.
I mean, I've known Steve since I was like 9. Does that count? He's Uncle Steve to my kids. Does that count?
No. All right. Anything else you want to hit on before we
taking
start
nothing
moving
seriously
into FMK?
Just one thing when you were talking about Fit Matt, Fat Matt. I went to a fair on the weekend, and as we all know, fairs are the place to be fat.
Yes, funnel cakes are amazing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I had. And you said because I'm the same way too, right? Like for the most part, I eat the same thing all the time. Right? I rarely ever go off. I had a popcorn chicken poutine. And it is fries and gravy and cheese curds with popcorn chicken, and then I added hot sauce that I found at one of the booths. And it was so rewarding.
I love that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I would do. Like, I used to work at a Sonic drive-in, and I would kind of put the most crazy combinations together for like our leftovers. I'd be like, I'm eating this.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt. I'll pay for this tomorrow. Like when the fat hits my system and it has to do what it does. But for now,
my aunt had a Mexican restaurant, and when it was my lunch break, I would go to like the where you like put everything together for a plate, and I would just grab like my bowl, like a to-go bowl, and just like that all the way down. And that's what Mexican food, anyways, is. It's just like everything. So I just put everything in the bowl, and like that was my lunch. Friday, put that on top.
As someone that's worked in food service also, do you find that as a negative? So I'm gonna, with the caveat of so like when I worked at Outback, when I worked at Applebee's, wherever, I've worked at a few different restaurants, like you get your free comped meal of the day or whatever. So I'd make it myself and make it like the most gluttonous, like add extra cheese, make a ranch chicken. I would like make shit up that like didn't exist, and you'd make it as fat as possible and like broil cheese on it and shit. I had like my go-to things, like what I would make at Outback, what I'd make at Applebee's, and it's not something you get on the menu. And if you did, it'd be like a fucking $90 thing with all the upcharges and stuff.
Yeah.
So like never being able to eat those foods again that you concocted as like a line cook or something. It's kind of like I kind of miss that sometimes of like, man, that was like the perfect storm of like just the fatness of fatness, and now I can't do that again because they would upcharge me for all those extra patties, as Grayson's aware of.
When I worked at Taco Bell, they had first released the Cheesy Gordita Crunch, which is a gordita, melted cheese, and then just a taco. And I said, well, what if we took that steak taco with the lime sauce? I don't think they do the lime sauce anymore. And you put that in the cheesy gordita. And that alone would have been like a $15 meal, but you work there, so you get it at 75% off or whatever. And I'm surprised they never put that on the menu, because I would tell other employees to try it, and they would be like, you're right, this is the best thing ever. Yeah.
I have a theory about Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, and I think Carl's Jr., like the Hardee's, whatever. I think most of their stuff, because especially a lot of them are open to like 1 a.m. or later, I think most of the menu items in my brain come from like they source it from either drunk or like high people that work there. They were like, I put this shit together. This is crazy. Put this on the menu, and then they'll bring them to like corporate, and then they'll test it out and be like, this shit is the bomb. Let's put it on the menu. So I think that's where that thing comes from.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was 16, so I was none of those things at the time, but it definitely was my greatest concoction. All right, Keith, you want to move into some games?
Yeah, Big Matt, do you want to explain to your family and friends listening for the first time what FMK is? Because some of them didn't know.
My wife didn't know, and that's probably had an effect on her response. There's 3 things, and they might be things that I all like, or things that are related to each other. And I have to pick one that I want to fuck, one that I want to marry, and one that I want to kill. Something marry wise is probably something that is more important to me, but it's like a passing like fancy that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I really like that. I'm attracted to that. Kill is just like, I don't care. Put it off the list.
Indeed.
That's the most in-depth explanation we've ever had.
It is.
I've been thinking about my response the entire time I've been going through the backlog.
Nice.
Like, how am I going to say this?
And FMK for me is it's a little harder. I think Joey does have a little bit easier with Rushmore typically because Rushmore is just a topic and you just run with it. Whereas FMK, people only submit topics 90% of the time, and then I have to come up with them anyway. So it's just like I might as well not have asked because I still have to do all the work.
I agree.
Anyway.
I was about to say, like, if you want to switch, we can
we maybe do that for a few months or something. I don't know.
Like, I would definitely pull things out.
Yeah, we could switch. I mean, not tonight, but because I've already picked what I wanted to do. So, but yeah, no, I like that idea. We might do that next. Crew, remind us to switch next week. FMK. So, one of the random suggestions was Tarantino movies. So I pulled 3 of those out. So let's go FMK, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Django Unchained.
See, that's where FMK gets hard sometimes because like, if it's all things that I like, then
well, yeah, inevitably, so you have to kill the one that's like third place. You essentially have to put them in. You have to put them in first, second, and third place, and then third is killed, even if it's like your third favorite thing in the world.
Unfortunately, despite how good there's so much of it, and I think some later Tarantino has high quality in it, even though they're not as much history behind it. As some of the Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and that kind of stuff. I think Django Unchained has to be killed. Okay. It's very good, and the gun scene, fight scene at the end where he's just blowing away all these guys. Didn't mean for that to come out that way. He's shooting all these guys, and there's just like so much blood and everything. But I probably would say that I would fuck Kill Bill because that was probably my first one where I was like, I knew Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill's coming out, Kung Fu stuff is really cool. I grew up on that rather than Disney movies and all that kind of stuff. And it felt like a lot of his movies felt like someone who likes movies making the movie. That one felt the most like that. So it's just so indulgent on its references and that kind of thing that I'm like, this is just an homage to that style of movies. Part 1 and part 2, that I'm like, Kill Bill is like a movie lover's movie. So I would say that marry Pulp Fiction because it's probably one of the most quoted. It's probably the biggest reference one that people will do all the time. It's always there. I know it was mentioned on one of the backlog episodes was like when the movie that you're scrolling through TV, if you're like at a hotel for whatever reason and that movie's on, I'll always watch Pulp Fiction, no matter where it's at. It's not a linear told story, but like a lot of stuff isn't. So you can just kind of jump in, even at the Christopher Walken part of the
I want this watch
hunk of metal
in my ass.
I had this hunk of metal in my ass. There's so many parts of like each part of it could have been in its own movie. The Zed's Dead baby, like people make reference to that. Like it's a EDM band. Like
it's in the zeitgeist.
Is there?
Yeah, it's so much in the zeitgeist that I can't imagine my life without Pulp Fiction, I think.
Nice. So if it was like a, not that we're gonna do a Mount Rushmore, but if it was a top three, would Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill be in the top three for
I
you?
think so.
Okay, then
I
what?
think
Okay, so
so.
then what's your third then? If it's not Django Unchained, briefly, just as I'm curious if someone that like likes all, because like I had to like go through the list real, because like I know a lot of movies off the top of my head, but it's like I wanted to pick the
Yeah,
three. I wanted to pick kind of three different ones, and so what would you consider your third favorite?
it's a more recent one, but I would probably say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay,
Uh,
that was gonna be my other, that I almost put that one in, and I was like,
that was
it's
so
newer, maybe people would Django Unchained to be more popular, but I like
yeah.
that movie.
Just the different parts of it, and then just like the creative license that
And
the Charles Manson's kids went to see
yeah,
that other guy, and they just kill all of them. They blow them away.
that was
Uh,
very like
and
the
like,
alternative
what's her name
timeline thing was wild.
survives. Yeah. So I think that kind of stuff, and then just the line. That's probably one of my favorite lines from all his movies is when Brad Pitt is like, "Don't cry in front of the Mexicans." That was like one of my favorite lines of that whole movie. Like this is it's a more recent addition to his filmography, but it like is huge and it holds up.
Well, didn't he say he was only gonna do so many movies and then like retire or something? And
I
then
think
he
it was like
didn't.
10.
But did he not stick to that? Because I think he has more than 10, doesn't he?
Or we'd have to count
Or
them out.
okay,
And then
well
if you
maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't know. No,
then
no,
you count like some ones that he's like is not his movies, but like he like helped
gotcha.
uh like Dust Till Dawn or what was the other one, the with the car, him and
Oh,
Robert Rodriguez did a couple
death proof.
Death
Death
Proof.
Proof. And then there's
Yeah,
one
I'm not
other one. He
sure.
did True Romance. Like if you count
Mm,
those, like ones that he's been involved in, I
mm-hmm.
don't know.
All right, good
Big
I think
Dust
he
Till
answers.
is
Dawn
doing a
fan.
TV show.
It took so
Big
long.
Dust Till Dawn fan.
There
Oh
was a
yeah.
TV. I'd never watched the Dust Till Dawn TV show. Is that what you just
I
said?
did actually.
I might.
Now that you bring it up.
It's been on my watch list for like years. I just never got to it. I did watch the sequel of Dust Till Dawn, which was fucking horrible, but
Yes, it was.
it was still watchable. All right,
So Mount Rushmore. I'm not going to do any of these.
do it. Don't.
Yeah, something else you said inspired me. Because it's all the same. It rap artists, restaurants, all that. So Mount Rushmore kung fu movies.
Ooh, good one.
Oh, that's hard. It's long as hell, but all film nerds, all people that are into them, like it's high on their list. Is Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. Uh, that's high up on there just because it's such a cool movie, and you kind of need the little break in between to kind of enjoy the whole movie. That's got to be high up there. Seven Samurai is super cool, and the fact that it's been made into westerns comes back to Kill Bill. That he put both of those things together. That it was just like they're essentially the same story. Magnificent Seven and Seven Samurai, the same movie. So that's on Mount Rushmore. So it's four, right? Then I would probably say Kill Bill's up there. Kill Bill 2 is not a kung fu movie, but Kill Bill 1 is.
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese Connection probably would definitely be up there with Bruce Lee. Was that or was it Game of Death? It was the one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar where, is it the one where he died in it? Was it Game of Death?
I think that was Game
wasn't
of
he wasn't he already dead in one of them too? And it was all like
It was like half shot.
Yeah, I thought the one where he fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was all just a stunt double for like 90% of it because he had already died.
I think they filmed like some of the main end fight scenes, but like stuff in the middle where he's like wearing the helmet. That's basically a reference to Kill Bill, where she's wearing the yellow like motorcycle suit. It's the same thing. So those two being connected. So I say Game of Death.
Chuck Norris was in Game of Death too. I had to just to double check. Yep.
That's where he ripped his chest hair out.
So he had to like fight all the bosses or whatever.
Yeah. The different gangs and shit. I think each level was each floor was a level.
Mm-hmm.
Or each
Kill Bill. Do we count Old Boy? I guess I have my druthers to say that.
Is it
Old Boy,
Korean Old Boy, or is it the
Korean Old Boy? I've never
I've
never seen the one with Josh Brolin.
Don't.
I think I've seen both.
Yeah, I watched them in the wrong order. I remember watching the American one and then the Korean one and being like, well, I wasted a movie. I should.
Just the hammer scene alone of him going through and smashing all these people's feet with a hammer
Yeah.
through that hallway, and it's all filmed like from perspective of the hallway, and just like the fact that everyone's just kind of like exhausted and doesn't want to fight anymore, and guys are just like throwing things. It's just like such a cool long shot that I'm like, that has to be up on there. That's such a cool one.
The hallway scene got really big after that, eh?
Yeah, and it's short enough that you could put it into like a TikTok or a reel or something and be like craziest action scene from a movie or something like that.
Well, and so I mean, like the idea of the hallway fight scene, because
Yeah.
it started being in like every movie. The one panel,
Yeah.
because I think when they did it, it was a 2D thing, and then it was like they would switch to the one panel. Daredevil, the TV show, did it
Okay.
amazing.
Like an homage. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched it, but they did it
Okay.
amazingly.
I don't know, because I would say the Matrix had one, but I don't remember which Matrix that was. No, the original, was it the end of the original Matrix when there was the big
Yeah,
hallway
they had
fight
one
because that would have been a
but it was
year
like,
earlier in like '99, I think.
yeah, the original Matrix had like the pillars, and they were like going back and forth on the pillars and all
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of
there was
stuff.
that
So
too.
it
But I know
was like in a hallway, and then there's the one with Christian Bale, where he's in like the white suit that was basically another Matrix, where he has the sword. If I've seen
what is that?
if I've seen some more of the references that are included in the Wu-Tang songs, going back to Pinche Becerra's episode of him saying the Jizza,
Yeah.
the samurai assassin or whatever, or the assassin something that wasn't even supposed to be on the album that I found out recently. It was all the excerpts from that movie weren't originally on the cut. The RZA added them afterwards, and the Jizza's like, the album's better for it. If I would put some of those on the list, but I can't because I've never seen them. Jackie Chan's Drunken Master, one of those.
Yep.
That's up there. Me and my brother.
We've already done 4, but if we want to talk kung fu movies,
I think we've done 69.
Yeah, if you want to talk kung fu movies for a few minutes, I have a recommendation as well.
It's funny you're talking.
That would be my final one, my alien head, whatever.
That's your alien face.
Yeah, I would say like where he does the drunken master stuff, where he like punches and like he does the wave stuff. We would recreate all those scenes all the time in our living room.
Oh, nice.
So Jackie Chan's high up there for all his movies.
Yes. Yeah. Well, all of his
Rumble in the Bronx and everything. Yeah.
All of his like the movies he made in China or Japan or whatever he made in Southeast Asia, because like the rest, like a lot of his American movies are shit. When he became a star, sorry,
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour was good, but it doesn't hold up.
The first one, yeah, I think.
There was one on Netflix that I watched, and I don't normally try and binge a TV show as fast as I can, but with this one I did. It's called Mercy for None.
Mercy for None. I gotta write that down.
If you liked Old Boy, you'll like this one. Because I well-known fact about me, I love noir style storytelling.
Yeah.
And this is like
very stylized. Yeah.
So if you liked Old Boy, you'll love Mercy for None for sure.
Cool. I'll have to check that one out.
All right. Well, you passed Mount Rushmore for sure.
He did. And it was funny you guys were talking about kung fu so much, because I listen to a lot of like movie podcasts where they talk about like 80s movies. So The Last Dragon was like just a random movie. I've seen that movie 100 times. So like listening to a pod, like it's funny because like usually they do movies that I don't even need to watch the movie because I've seen it at least multiple times as a kid or whatever. So there was a shit ton of kung fu movie talk on that, and so then it was just kind of very similar to what my night ended up being. So I enjoyed that.
Like my dad's, or like I said, my dad showed us all of those movies because that he came from Mexico, and the 80s is when he learned English, and all those movies were big at that time. So my Mount Rushmore would be like 70 movies long. I could put Showdown in Little Tokyo on there as well. Brandon Lee,
all right,
Dolph Lundgren. Like,
it's a good movie.
I could go on for
what it is.
On some of those. Yeah, it's good.
We would be remiss to forget Kung Pao.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that should definitely be up there. That's one of the best kung fu movies ever made. Kung Pao, The Legend of the Fist.
All right. Well, we still got another game to get into, but I'm going to hit you with some.
Keith is like, shut up. I'm not even talking about that movie.
Even if we move on right now, we'll still be over 2 hours. So that's my only goal. and you got some doors to go sling tomorrow. So, and I gotta work a full day. So let's see. Affiliate ad read. I'm gonna hit you guys with the remaining ones here. So God damn it! Ever since Joey fucking said something about me saying it's all I fucking hear myself say. So the affiliate links here. Barbell Rescue, Big Kim, go support him. He's got great products out there. Home Gym Con. I think we're 10 months out now. Code unpaid. I hope you save a little bit of money on your tickets there. I think they're at like 70 vendors already or something. Already at like a bigger capacity than what they were at last year, and last year was double what year two was, and year two was like triple what year one was. So it's pretty wild how big that's exponentially continuing to grow. Ashton over at Freedom Fitness Equipment, he hooked up Tommy with some flooring. He's hooked up a lot of people with flooring. If you need any flooring needs or in, I want to say he's in one of the Carolinas. Don't quote me on that. Someone correct me. Because I don't know how effective it is to order stuff online and have it shipped, but if you're close enough to go pick something up, sounds like a great idea. Code unpaid will save you a few percent there, and then Grant, get some apparel from the Strength Co. Code unpaid at all those locations will help you save a little bit of money. And Big Matt's gonna explain unpaid or underrated to us.
It is a completely original game that unpaid is things that are not good because they're not paid for, or you don't get paid for them. So
nobody wants to be unpaid.
I'll relate them both to my poetry. Underrated is my poetry because not a lot of people know about it, and I think I'm pretty good. Unpaid is my poetry as well because nobody wants to fucking buy my poetry every time I try to submit. So that's unpaid and underrated.
Funny. All right. I'm going to hit you with a few here, hand selected just for you. Let me hear your opinion, unpaid or underrated. Shoe collection.
I think they're underrated. I think they can be unpaid if people purposely only buy the really expensive ones, the certain Jordans that only come out a certain amount of time, and then rise the price up and buy like crazy ones. I've never bought anything higher than retail on shoes. I think they're underrated. If you pick shoes that you like and you want to buy just because you think they're cool, and then you wear them as like a fashion statement, you're like, these are my cool shoes. Occasionally it'll be something I deadlifting. Some of them I won't even go near a puddle, or if it's raining, I won't ever do that. Some of them I just think they're cool and I'll just wear them for whatever.
And what would your wife have to say about your fondness of shoe collections?
It's usually a last minute given. It's like, do you really want these? Do these mean that much to you? And I'm like, yeah, these are the ones I want. And okay, she's never gonna stop that.
I guess I was fishing more. Like, I was fishing more for. Do you give her a hard time when she gets her shoes dirty or something to that extent?
Oh no, yeah, okay.
yeah. I want to hear that couple spat. Let's stir the pot.
Recently, in service to be more fit, Matt, I've done things to help myself out to be more healthy. I've done. I had a deviated septum that I got fixed, and I use a CPAP now, so like my recovery is better. While I was going out and I was fading away for my deviated septum surgery that they were doing, they were asking me about my wife, and I was telling them about her, and I was like, they just asked something like, does she do anything to annoy you? And I was like, no, not at all. Except for when she messes up her fancy shoes that I bought her. Because I will buy, I'm such a collector that I'll buy stuff for her. So I can vicariously enjoy it. It's like, it's yours. But I got the
funny.
The serotonin or whatever for buying it.
Yeah.
I bought her the Dark Side of the Moon Masnama shirt. That's hers.
Oh, dope.
Nice.
All right. I'll do one more. If it doesn't land, I might do another quick one. But if you have a story with this or not, unpaid or underrated, a bunch of unanswered DMs on Match.com.
This should just be the Matt Talks About His Wife podcast. When I first got up to Washington, Idaho adjacent,
yes,
I was just kind of hanging out, and then I was just like, I want to meet somebody up here. I just don't want to just hang out in my dorm room. Hopped on Match, and I didn't go like crazy that I didn't slide into a million DMs, but like flipping through, and it's like, oh, that person seems interesting. Hey, I'm Matt. How's it going? Next one, oh, cool, you're cool. How's it going? 10, 15 people, no answers and no responses. And she's the only one to respond. I was like, well, I guess I got it in one. Nobody else answered, and I didn't need anybody else to answer.
Perfect.
So I would say unanswered Match.com responses are probably underrated.
Nice. I mean, I'm glad I didn't interpret I think in my head I interpreted it as in like you have a bunch of responses you've left on read basically or left on
Oh no,
unread.
I got
So
left
like
on red.
it's yeah, that's even like that's actually funnier. So that's not where I thought it was going though. So yeah, I will accept that as my third and final, and hopefully Joey asks some good ones here. Yeah. There's a lot of good options.
Yeah, there is. I think my first one would be when you were looking into Stoicism. How much other form of ethics did you look into before deciding on that one?
I think it was just straight up just the one because there's the guy Ryan Holiday who has all the quick reels and stuff like that, and I was like, what he's saying makes a whole bunch of sense. And then I started digging into it, started reading some of the books, like Meditations on Audio book. I used to run to that, like listen to the Marcus Aurelius Meditations. I was like, this is the one. I like learning more about a lot of the other classical ones, and I'm also interested in like any of the Eastern religion slash philosophies of Shinto, Buddhism, that kind of stuff. I want to know, but I think Stoicism, like, it was so practical, and it's more just like a self help book from 2,000 years ago that I'm like, this is the one.
Okay, so the one I was going to ask isn't going to land. Unpaid or underrated pairs?
Unpaid. As much as I like indulging on different things and trying all different kinds of foods, pears, raw pears specifically, are to me just mostly flavorless and then just always mushy. They're not an enjoyable thing to eat. Pear flavored things, pear inside different kinds of like a pastry or something, I'm all for it. But a raw pear, completely unpaid.
And how long did it take you to tell your wife this?
Yeah, there was a story that we want to hear. Come on, don't bury the lead.
So most of the time, if she hands me stuff, so I really don't have much like straight up dislikes about things. I want to try everything. I'm interested in anything. When we went to Hawaii with my in-laws, there was like a whole fried fish, and I remember seeing like Anthony Bourdain or something. They ate the eyeball, and I was like, I'm gonna eat the eyeball. I ate the eyeball, so like, there's nothing off my list that I won't try. But if she's like, hey, I'm gonna get us some pears, what do you or which kind do you like? And I'm like, I really don't like them. They're not like my favorite thing. And she's like, how did I know this about you? Because like, I don't hate them, but I don't like them enough to be like, yeah, those are ones that are my favorite. Those are the ones I'm gonna pick. So if it's a choice between multiple fruit, I'm not gonna pick a pear because I think they're unpaid.
She said you'd been eating them for years and just didn't tell her.
That she would bring them on a plate for you with breakfast or something to that extent. Or yeah, that was the whole thing that we read, and that's why
it's fine. That's what it is.
There it is.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I didn't have to make it, and you.
Yeah,
I didn't have to make it, and you made it. This is the best thing ever. Thank you.
Like, I don't waste food. I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, it goes back to do you realize you've been eating the same sandwich for 3 weeks? Nope. Nope. Didn't realize it. Thank you for making it. I have zero complaints. I can turn off my brain
sometimes, and it's like food is food. Food is it's just its macros sometimes to me. I'm okay with that.
As long as it's not a pear.
Yeah. But if there's a pear in front of me, okay, I'll eat it. Whatever. It's not my preference.
Unpaid or underrated? Let me set the scene. You're scrolling through Instagram and you see somebody, and let's just say they're setting up a really cool deadlift. And you are like, hey, that's a lot of weight. This might go really well. And then they pick up the weight and they cheer, then they drop it, and blue or pink smoke flies out everywhere.
Yeah.
Unpaid or underrated?
I think the idea of gender reveals is okay. I'll ride the line on those. But when it's like hobby specific or just to appease whoever's like thinks it's above them to have the gender reveal, but they have to do it in their cool way. So they have to do it with like a lifting thing or something related to that. Like, I think that's totally unpaid. Like, you can be more interesting than just your hobby, or like you can, or if something like that, if it's not necessarily for you, you can indulge more towards your significant other's way rather than just like, this has to be my way because I think this is cool and this is the only way I'll show up. I think that kind of idea is unpaid. So that that's the way I see it. Like anything that's just so like
elaborate and unnecessary to announce, hey, these are the genitals my baby has.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you cut a cake and the cake is the color. Yay! Everybody
Cool.
Cheer.
Like I probably would never do one of those.
No.
But if somebody does, I'm not gonna be like, okay, this is dumb. I don't want to be a part of this. Like
The funniest one I saw, it was like the funniest ones is the fail ones. So there was a dude, like the brother-in-law or the cousin or something. He was driving like the thing to the party, and it was whatever it was on his passenger seat, and he was fucking with it, and it went off in his car, and he was fucking covered in like the paint, the powder, the dust, and he just couldn't. Half that shit could be set up, and it was fake anyway. But goddamn, I laughed my ass off at it.
Or when they do them and they like burn a forest down.
Yeah.
Or like they release balloons, like latex balloons out into the world, and you're just like, oh, well, great. Like those are now in our planet somewhere. They're gonna cause power outages or they're gonna choke birds. Thanks. Anyway, I dislike gender reveals, if you can't tell.
I'm more towards your direction to like disliking them, but I like, okay, fine. If you want to do that, that's okay.
Yeah.
If you invite me,
I might not come.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I've a thing I've been saying a lot lately because again, I'm at a new job. I'm meeting new people. My rules aren't your rules. Right. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk politics at work. You can. I just don't want to. Right. My rules are not your rules.
And that's the way I feel about most things now that I'm at my ripe old age of 33. I'm okay with saying it's not for me.
Yep.
If it's something that you like or music taste or movie, I'm like, it's just not for me.
Yeah, I think the other day we were talking about my old work, and I said I work mostly with women, and one of the guys was like, "Ooh, what's that like?" And I was just like, "It's nothing. You don't flirt with coworkers." And the guy sitting next to me is dating one of the girls that works there, right? And they're like, "Yeah, but he does," and I was like, "Not my rule isn't his rule. He can do what he wants. I would never. Like, I'm not going to judge him for doing so. I hope they're happy. I like both of them. I would never." So, all right, unpaid or underrated. Last one.
I think that you can do a bonus one.
No, was that 3? We'll stop there. I was going to ask you about utilitarian ethics to see how you felt about different forms of ethics. I took some ethics courses.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I miscounted.
Just the real quick of it of like, because once it starts getting into some of the metaphysical stuff and it gets towards like Kant and some of those other guys, like
Did you say cunt?
Some of it, Kant.
Can't.
Oh, I thought you said cunt. I was like, that's my word.
That's probably a little too complicated for me. Like I like it being simple. Utilitarian feels more like the trolley problem, and like
it literally is. Does the ends justify the means? Does the thing that benefits the most
in practice? And like to not get too crazy political.
We don't do that here.
When it comes to certain decisions to be made, it might have to sometimes come down to more utilitarian, but that's not how I'm going to choose to live my life as far as like my own personal philosophy and my own ethical quandaries on how I decide how to live my life. If I'm presented with those decisions where I have to think of something more utilitarian, I'll cross that bridge when I get there, but I'm probably going to do it from the point of view of like how this directly affects my very narrow locus of control first, and then go from there.
All right, yeah, we won't bore Keith because we would
No,
go
I'm
into
good.
we go in like the next would be virtue
So
ethics.
I
There
think it would be unpaid.
pretty much. I agree.
More virtue would be more underrated
Yes,
because
yeah,
that's more yourself.
and utilitarian it delves into the it's only wrong if you get caught kind of
Mm.
Yeah.
concept of things too, right? Because does the end justify the means? Well, if I never get caught doing the bad thing, then it wasn't necessarily bad, so therefore I continue doing it, and like it gets really things I think about too much. You passed
If
unpaid
I'm
and underrated.
yeah, then go off the rails and keep going if no one stopped us
Yeah,
about
we
stuff like
we
that.
could, and I've been feeling like that a lot with the past couple of. It's just like some of these guys deserve a part two because I think that there's a lot more we could have fun with. But again, we both have 5 a.m. wake ups, so
Do I get 2 checks on my achievement list if I get on here twice? Because
no,
I've been racking up the pictures with supporting members. I'm
very
gonna keep
good.
racking those up. So no, you don't get more than one.
No,
No.
I'm not trying.
No.
I'm not trying to game the system.
Okay, you
wouldn't
passed
be- it
unpaid
would-
and underrated.
It wouldn't be very virtuous of me to do that.
Would not be very virtuous. No,
Would be utilitarian.
it would actually.
And I'm just using context of my understanding of that word by the last couple of minutes of okay, it just means
Yeah, we're gonna flip it now. Do you have
Okay.
anything for us, my friend?
So one thing I was doing, the one of the biggest things I got from this last year of Massonomics was things being on your bingo card. So I don't know if you guys saw while I was sitting here, I was checking things off. I made a you and you bingo card of
Jeez.
things to check off
I'll
as
just
you guys
send
were talking.
Send us a
We
picture of
we
that
need
later.
that because there is a Massonomics bingo website.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to send it to you guys. I didn't win anywhere. I got close. But so that's just a quick aside
Well, I
of
think
what
we
I
almost
got for
need.
you
I
guys.
think we almost need to hear. It's only gonna take a couple minutes to read every column. Like, or what is it? How many checks are on there, or how many?
The ones I got checked off were my wife impression. We said my wife. I think I said it one time in the Borat voice. One that I kind of put there myself was when Keith asks a question, and while he's giving the question, he answers it like 3 different times. It was like, is it like this? Is it like this? Is it like that? And you give 3 answers before people get a chance to answer.
That's so mean. I'll have to.
Dick joke was one of them. I kind of made blowing guys away when I was
Yes.
talking about Django Unchained. So Ellen,
That was.
if not, that's okay. Was my or my instant check off one because and that's actually to go opposite of the last one of like being mean. This one is a nice one that like you guys care enough to like not to approach something people don't want to talk about. So if not, that's okay. I like that one being a given. You saying good stuff. That's another Keith one.
I do say that.
Something being blank adjacent is on here.
Yep.
A Keith Yan was on here. I think you might have got one on there.
Yeah, you did.
On top
He
of that
did.
is
Well, shit
Keith
on
being
Joey
tired
for a
of-
minute. Fuck off.
I do have
that
a
is really
handful
funny.
of Joeys on
That is
here.
really
Yeah, I think
funny.
they're next.
No, let's hear them all. It doesn't have to be one.
Let's just go
on
on some of the ones that I have for Joey.
Yeah, this is great.
Well, one last one, and I'll mention where this one came from. Keith using "fuck" twice in a sentence was one. So the person I had like 6 and I had no idea what to put on here for, and I was like, who could help me? I had just listened to the 200th episode, the 2-year anniversary one, and you guys had mostly squat videos. Matt trying to roast people, and he didn't roast like anybody, but
No, he
you
was too
guys were
nice.
like.
Well, you've
but
just
I was
roasted me
like-
more than Matt ever did. So goddamn, like my heart's still broken.
The last 6, I was like, help me out with these. So since you guys you guys kept screwing them over and not getting them on the podcast for the first like 20 episodes. I had him help me with the last ones.
This is really
So the
good.
ones that he helped with Joey was Joey plugs Canadian company. Joey mentions Jaeger.
I don't think he did that tonight.
No, didn't do that
No.
tonight.
That's why I didn't get it checked up. You've been saying Lugal lately, and I
Mhm.
guess that's from Hot Tub Time Machine. So Joey Lugaled something. I don't think we Lugaled anything. Joey being dumbfounded by an American thing. And then Joey goes on a blank diatribe. So I have wrestling and metal on there.
Neither.
We didn't talk about either one of those.
No, and it was that was the funniest.
Which those are usually a given
This
on
is
some of
great.
these episodes, but those didn't come up.
Hey, like Roddy Piper always said, just when you think you got all the answers, I change the questions.
So
There's your wrestling one.
I love
Got
that.
There's your wrestling one. You can check that.
I love that you made a bingo fucking card. That is great.
Then so to go to my actual like what I have for you guys, one for both of you is let's say tomorrow or for whatever reason the other podcast for fun wants you guys to host for them and they host for you guys. Who do you think could do a better episode from each other? And then like I listen to sports radio sometimes, and sometimes like some people will go on for Dan Patrick and they'll just do their own show. They won't do the Dan Patrick show. Would you guys, when you guys go over there and do a Massonomics episode, would you guys change anything? Would you guys do the same show? Do you think they would do the same? And who do you think would do better between you guys and them?
I think in general, I think we could do better at their episode than they could do better at us because they don't interview people much anymore. And when they do, they'd have to, I don't know, like we have a very regimented, I really think we could do theirs because we could just get on there and shoot the shit for an hour and that'd be the episode. Whereas this one, it has to be like, we go very in depth on the guests. Not that they don't do that, but like, I mean, we're
But it's
essentially
more personal because you guys know crew.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Keith. I think
okay. One more caveat. Our episodes are as in depth as they are because we put all the work into the questionnaire and like research and shit. Whereas they don't do that. Like Tanner might just like look at someone's like Instagram for 10 minutes and then like do an episode. Ours is a lot of work. So if you didn't have that groundwork that we put in and that Nate had built with the questionnaire and everything, like it's not fucking easy to just shoot the shit with someone when all you can go off of is like the same lifting fucking post that they've had and you don't really know them at all. So like interviewing someone that you don't know anything about and having to just go off of like we're not going off a script, but we're kind of like, we're going off our notes, but I don't know. I think ours would be harder for them coming out of the blue, never doing it specifically like we do.
And I'm going to say the opposite. I think if you put Tanner in our chair, he's listened to enough episodes.
Well, yeah.
And he knows enough of the crew. And let's say we supplied him with the show notes to be nice.
Yeah.
I think he could pull it off. Could we talk for an hour and a half on small town changes to the directions of roads enough to keep people engaged?
No.
Like 700 of us at least.
Yeah.
We're all in on like.
Well, I want to think that we can.
Government on there. Yeah.
I do think if we were to have our own episode where like the guest doesn't show up and you and I just have to like come up with a topic and shoot on a topic, we could.
So I have a side note. I'll go into.
Could we do it as good as those two do?
No.
Without offending, like keeping it neutral. Like I imagine we did the, rating of a fitness companies. The amount of people you would piss off, whereas like I would try and stay as neutral as possible, and you'd just be like, "No, fuck those guys. They didn't come to Home Gym Con. They don't fucking deserve our." But like you would, I don't think we could do their finely tuned brand as easy as they could just come on here and go like, "Oh, hey, Matt."
Well, but they would have to like not.
So you're Matt, huh? What's it like?
But
say hello to your mother for me. Like it would be.
We talk about ourselves like less than 20% of the episode, ideally. Like between the two of us, if we collectively consume 20% of the episode about Joey and Keith, that's kind of like the limit we should do. Whereas their episodes are 90% them, then their personal lives typically, or at least like 70. So like, I don't know. It would be different. So I've been thinking about this a lot lately. It's like it's going to get harder and harder to keep doing you and you the way it is, just because. Granted, the crew's growing, but like crew that know anything about us, and Matt's the exception. I feel of like out of like the 200 crew that have joined in the last year or whatever, like 10 of them fucking listen to us. So the numbers aren't on our side that this is going to go on forever. So I think occasionally we probably. This is like behind the scenes. If you're listening, cool. You get to hear something that I've thought about, and then I'll just talk to Joey about it for the first time. Basically, and a filler, not filler episodes, but a way to like prolong the podcast itself. Because say we only have 100 more guests that we can get on, and I want to make that last for 3 years.
Yeah.
Once a month, once a quarter, once every 3 months, whatever. We do an episode where we essentially just do an elongated general topics and get a past guest on, and don't do an interview at all. And we just literally do general topics. Maybe talk about the guest briefly, but not an interview. Like it's not like let's tell us your life story because we did that 2 years ago when we interviewed on episode 7. But just it doesn't even have to be a title topic because I don't want to steal the title topic for them. But like we could talk general topics for a fucking hour if we didn't like curb ourselves, and that could be an episode. And it's not going to be a 3 hour episode, but like I think most people would probably prefer we have some shorter episodes every now and then. So I think that's something we can consider in the future, especially if we're just like, oh, we can't get a guest this week, and then like, or we can't get a new guest, but I got fucking 150 people on my phone book that I could call and be like, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? You know, like, especially when it's like it's going to be an hour and we're just going to talk general topics and it's like no preparation. So I think that's something we could do in the future. Completely side tangent from what you asked us, but
no, I don't disagree. And if you go to massnomics.com/support, we're in there now. Right?
Cool.
It does link, and like, you know, join crew and you get access to the pre-show. You get a one-time discount code. It even says now.
Took me a while to get the nerve
get
to
a
ask
chance
Tanner for
to
that.
be on Unpaid and Underrated, and maybe every once in a while Tanner throws it out on the podcast. Right? Because I know he says the guest on Unpaid and Underrated.
Yeah, but it's
this
so
week
brief.
Was,
I don't think people.
When you're saying like, you know, maybe I'm not asking him to do it all the time, but I'm just saying once in a while.
That would be nice.
You know, join supporting crew. You get this perk, this perk, this perk, and you get to be on Unpaid and Underrated, where they might interview you to tell the rest of the crew all about you. Because I know there's people that listen, and I like. Perfect example is the first time I met Mitch. When I brought him up earlier today, I'll talk about it now, where he was like, oh, hey, it's Massnomics hat. And we just started talking. And then I was like, well, do you know about Unpaid and Underrated? And he's like, well, yeah, like they talk about it. And I was like, well, I'm a host. And then he started listening immediately. Right. But he just didn't know what it was. Because I think, you know, when we launched, Tanner really went in depth. But if people are just getting into Massnomics now and then joining crew but aren't doing the backlog, they don't know who we are. So,
and even though we have our own Discord thing, like it's still there's like 19 channels and we're like buried under one of them. So you have to like click on stuff to open it up. And
that doesn't bother me. I think
no. I'm not saying that it's a negative. I'm just saying I'm not saying that they did us dirty or anything. I'm saying there's just that much in Discord that like we're such a small piece of it. But I want to keep this going indefinitely, and any help fellow crew and you know Tommy and Tanner can give us, I love. But
a couple points. The having the home gym tour is another marketing opportunity.
Yeah, I really hope you guys talked about who we are on that gym tour.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I hope they include it in theirs because it would be amazing for them for that to be in there.
Yeah. Tanner pointed out the banner, and then I think I kind of like that's one thing I hope I don't look. I feel like I cut Tanner off a couple times throughout the episode just because it's like I'm so excited to talk about my shit. So before he even like gets done asking the question, I'm already like halfway explaining it. But I do think I know I talked about Unpaid and Underrated. I didn't necessarily. I didn't plug it at the end, but they didn't really give me a chance to plug anything in the end. I had to sneak in the No Wine Cellar on Instagram, and then it was kind of over. But there should be a 30 to 60 second thing on us.
On the other side of it too, if you guys did use more people back again, that would be people would definitely get into that. I would be interested to see the difference.
You only get one goddamn check mark, Matt. Calm down.
No. The other side, like if you guys just did just the two of you episodes and just general topics episodes and just like I don't know anybody else that like if you guys brought Scanson.
Yep, that's the concept. And it's also it doesn't even have to be Joey and I. Like if one of us needs to not be there and it's easier to not do a full blown interview, then do a general topics with an old friend and you don't really feel like you're missing getting to know a new person.
What you guys do has that same flavor of just the random off the wall bullshitting about things that everybody else that we're all interested in is just as much as the Discord as anything else that this has that same kind of legs that their show does on that same note. To get onto my next ones that I brought up, Joey said that he's not looking for another tattoo anytime soon, but would you ever consider a you and you tattoo? And if you're going to be at the next Lift Hard, when should I book our appointment so we can get matching you and you tattoos?
That'd be wild.
No,
I might just get one.
I probably would.
yeah, go ahead and get one. I don't
Yo.
see myself getting one. I'm tattooed out. They're expensive. The upkeep sucks. Right, that first 2 weeks.
If it's on me, what about then?
Still a hard maybe.
No, okay. We got towards maybe. That's something.
Yeah, but I'll make you a deal. Only if Megan D. Quarterhorse tattoos us.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Is that in Aberdeen or?
I don't think
Oh.
I don't think she can anymore.
That's the joke, dude.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. I was like, sometimes you don't pay attention to shit, and I was like, wait, he knows she's.
No, that's the joke.
I gotcha.
Yeah, if she does our tattoos, I will get one with you.
Well, that's
Okay.
She would literally she'd say, yeah, I can still do it, and then she'd just like draw a blind dick on you.
Yeah, it would be fucking hilarious. Like and I would earn it. It would be.
I would be okay with that too. It's a story.
I love Megan. She's one of my favorite.
And she's gonna laugh at that too. That's the only reason I would say it.
I might skip one of these because I don't want to keep going on forever.
No, you're good.
Okay,
you're not ragging on me too hard.
No. One last one for Joey. You mentioned you are a Star Trek fan. Mount Rushmore of Star Trek captains.
I mean, there's not that many, so that's pretty easy to do.
Well, then you put like one or two off the side.
There's a shit ton of new shows that all have their own captains too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go off the deep end of any other like people that were featured in an episode or something.
Okay, so Picard, number 1.
Yeah, 4 lights.
Make it
Is
so.
his show good?
What?
Is his new show any good? Like the CBS Paramount
Plus
show?
Oh yeah. I think it's.
Oh no! Yeah, no, it was.
I've had it downloaded. I think it was only a season or two. I had it downloaded
First season
for years.
is really good.
It.
That's the one with the original Klingons, right?
I gotta get into that one.
Where they?
Oh no! That's Discovery.
Discovery was incredible for the first season and a half.
Yeah, I still have to finish that. I'm on like season 3, and like I still have 2 seasons to finish the series. I'm like, I can't get back.
Then they got really into the tardigrade, and I got bored. But
a brand new world, one, I think.
The Remain Klingon is like my favorite line ever. Okay, so Picard. Okay, Kirk is gonna be on there.
Has to.
Janeway's gonna be on there, and I never really watched anything else because most of them bored the shit out of me.
Cisco
from
Deep Space Nine.
I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, he was good.
He's number 1 for me. All the baseball references. The fact that he punched Q in the face.
Q probably had it coming. He was a dick.
Yeah. Cisco was like the anti-Picard. So it was kind of cool. He was more utilitarian, and it was fun to jump in there. And then he basically at the end, spoiler alert, basically becomes a god. So
I can picture him, but I couldn't remember his name. But I never really got into Deep Space Nine. Pretty much.
That's when Worf acts the most Worf in that show.
Really? Okay.
He's badass in that one. He actually kicks ass in that one.
I watched maybe the first or 2 seasons because I know Dax and I know Q and I know Quark, right? Like that's where they pretty much introduced the Ferengi in that form. The Ferengi at some other time were just weird,
just like an off character.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say those. Picard over Kirk, for sure. I know that's gonna be
Picard is the best.
Yeah, that's gonna. Well, not everybody agrees because everybody kind of loves Kirk's rough and tumble, careless ways, right? Playing it fast
cowboy
and
diplomacy.
Loose. Yeah, exactly. But then also you do have to recognize every episode of The Next Generation was not breaking. I just drew a blank on the phrase.
Like convention or like.
No, we don't break the Federation rules.
Oh yeah.
And then they break every Federation rule. Like that was literally every episode of The Next Generation.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
Get it?
It was ironic.
Call back.
Call back to the last more set.
Yes. Facts.
Okay, then for Keith, we'll start with a short one and then we can go to a longer one that we can finish on. I can add another check on the dick joke.
There we go. Yeah. I don't think it counts if you make the joke.
Yeah, because it's
but now you can check that one off.
Self-fulfilling prophecy when you're doing your own checks.
if you could go to, and it's probably been, I don't know if it's been asked before, anything that's at the Massonomics gym, if you can take one piece and add it to the no wine cellar, what piece?
The broken sandbag that you broke.
I asked him to send me that. I think he just threw it away. I made the joke that I was gonna mount it on the wall. The ghost combo would be pretty sweet. I would think they got a decent yoke. I've already got all their for strongman stuff that I don't have.
The vintage plate wall, maybe?
I have. I mean, I've got nicer
You have
vintage
your
plates
own.
than he does. I mean, Tanner doesn't have a Mark 45, and I do.
I have an answer to this question as well.
But yeah, I think I'd have to go ghost combo, like without literally using my brain to go through because I could do a gym tour in my head and see every single piece in the gym, but yeah, off the top of my head, ghost gym rack, ghost combo rack, because that would be multifaceted purposes in my gym.
There's two things I would take, and it's the crew map where everybody puts their pins in, or the the stencil for the Massonomics logo. Because when we were there, Steve was like, "Can I borrow that?" Tanner was like, "No."
If you'd watched the Jake did borrow it because he needed it when he made the drink spotter or something, and while he had it, he used it as a stencil to spray paint his deadlift platform with the logo.
That's what we wanted it for.
Yeah. So that was pretty
the neon sign or whatever from the old podcast. Mm-hmm. That would be a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
The last one, because you are very much a movie guy too. If you had to
glaze a thing or two.
Yeah, if you had to cast and plot the Massonomics movie.
Oh God.
Wow.
How would you go about that? Who would you go to play who, and what would it be about?
Dude, I don't know about actors.
I have the opening scene in my head. We start with Scance as a baby, and we can follow Scance along most of his history, and somehow he's related to all of crew, and somehow he met all of our moms, and we're all Scance's sons. So
Scance is Matt Damon, by the way.
Scance is Matt Damon to start. Yeah,
it has to be.
I don't know, but that's such an off the wall thing. Like maybe.
I knew when
it would have to be it'd have to be them at getting ready to do episode 500, and it's the famous rockers behind the it's like the opening scene is like them in the green room getting ready to do episode 500, and then it's just flashback. The whole movie's set in 2 time zones. It's current episode about to do the live recording of episode 500 in the undisclosed place, and still haven't got any information on that, you fuckers.
And let that be the surprise of the movie, the third act.
Yeah, the climax of it is you finally disclosing that, but then the whole movie is just origin stories and multiple time scenes or multiple time.
And it probably would look exactly like Dewey Cox.
Yeah,
I get the feeling that's where it would.
All those kinds of references.
The feeling of the movie would be it would be Dewey Cox, where it's just stupid comedy. But we are.
It did make I don't know if Stephanie really understood how long they've been doing this. So I pulled up it wasn't their first episode, because their first YouTube episode was an interview in someone's gym. So I didn't really want to use that one. So I went to their second YouTube episode, which was episode 32, when it was through the 3 of them in Tyler's basement, and just making her watch that for 5 minutes of just how young everyone is.
Yeah.
But then seeing, because it was 9 years ago basically, but still seeing you could still see Tanner and Tommy inside of Tanner and Tommy, but it was completely essentially completely different human beings. It was just very very unique. So I think I probably got more.
The guy that plays Reacher would be Tanner.
Oh yeah,
Tanner now though.
I think they should have him play both of them, but he's wearing a wig for
just a different wig and beard. Yeah.
He plays every one of them because he's just the biggest guy on TV right now.
Yeah.
Then,
or The Rock plays, because Rock is in everything. Rock plays.
And the only person that gets to use the real Larry actually gets to be in the movie, because he's just the old dude. He's just the old dude not talking in the background lifting, but he's it's literally he's just the background actor and all of it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about actors specifically, but I do like the idea of it's just like it's leading up to episode 500, and then it's just flashback scenes, and it's just like telling the life story of Massonomics Jim and the Massonomics podcast,
I
and
think
how
that's
it's
the right answer.
evolved, and how it's because it literally it would almost have to be like a 4-part movie. It actually I don't even know if you could do it in a single movie because they've literally had if you gave each era of the podcast and of the gym and of the Instagram page and what they've done, and like essentially they're like eras because like they only do the same shit for a couple years and they kind of transition into something else. So
it would be a tetralogy.
Yeah.
I would actually say instead of them recording episode 500, it would be them walking out to the Lift Hard Live Easy 4.
Maybe. But I mean, all they really do for that is the little things, So I don't know. Is that really...
No, but I mean, it's a movie, dude. You play it up like they're just like they're in the back room of the Ramcoda, and they're just like
joke.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
Like shit's going wrong or stuff like that. No, someone's got to deliver the horse mats.
But at least we already know what's going on for Lift Hard Live Easy 4. I don't know what's going on for episode 500. That's like we are privy to a lot of stuff being in group chats with Tanner and being his friends, but I don't know fuck all about it.
It's so hard.
And I was fishing for a lot of they gave me a little bit of more like I've gotten some hints about the gift, but they definitely played it close to their chest of I think it's come I don't think it's going to be out by next week, so I don't want to say the couple things that I've heard, but like I don't know, a lot of people's guesses that I've heard, I don't think anyone hit the nail on the head basically. Like
and I won't even get it because Canada Post is down, which actually is the last thing I want to talk about before we get into the affiliates and sign off for the night. Everybody that's been stickers. Everybody that's been messaging me about sticker exchange or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
my mail service is down, so I cannot send mail. I cannot receive mail. I won't get the crew gift. Hopefully they don't lose it, because what's happening is when it's going to hit Canada, it's going to go in a bin, and if they ever come back, then it'll get sorted, and we hope it gets sorted properly. So I am down for sticker exchanges, and by down I don't mean like down for. I mean like I'm done. I can't do them.
He's not DTS down to sticker. He's down to Paul's.
Yeah. So I did have somebody message me. I was like, yeah, here's my address, and then a second later was like, wait, don't send me anything, and I can't send you anything. So yeah, actually, my Silly Goose shirt is stuck. Yeah, my Silly Goose shirt is going to be stuck in Chicago. It's not even going to cross the border until the strike ends. So.
Oh, that's right. You bought the peach one.
Yeah. So, where do we find you at? Hit them.
Where you at, Matt?
You can find me at FatMatt on Instagram, Dirt McGirt on Discord, Stoic Poetic on Substack. And if I ever post anything, you can find me at Willow Boops for my cats.
No, I was just going to ask. I was just going to ask you to follow up with the cat one. Joey, where are you at?
I am at Joey.Echeverria, Echeverria. I'm really big into Rogue. I'll be an affiliate soon.
Nice.
He did that last week, and it was really fun. Also, Joey, if you're listening this long, big shout out to your King George III knuckle reference. I will tell you, when you said that, it did not land with Keith or the guest.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I laughed out loud and yelled, "You fucking nerd," in my car. I'm so proud of you for that. Anyway, Joey_Malesko, MLECZKO. That's about the only place you can find me is the Instagrams.
Will you explain his reference in 60 seconds or less? Because I don't.
So you guys were bringing up the rule of the knuckle and how deep is a knuckle, and
vaguely, yeah.
Yeah. And then he said, no, it's a King George III's knuckle, which I believe from my, of course, zeitgeist knowledge, the third time we've said that sentence, is actually where the knuckle thing comes up from.
Okay.
Right? It's just like how the champagne was modeled after some queen's breasts. It's just this thing that's like in the world that could be true, but nobody's ever going to check. But I knew the reference, and I was like, "You fucking nerd! That's the funniest thing." And
that is the worst. Nobody, when, like, it's a good joke, but it doesn't land.
You guys didn't you're talking to the wrong crowd.
I like those for myself. I'll purposely make a joke that's only funny to me, and it's funnier because I know that I find it funny, and that's enough for me.
Yeah, well, Joey did that, and I'm very proud of him for that because it was a very, very funny thing.
Joey's a good dude. I love that kid. All right. So our Instagram, Unpaid and Underrated Podcast. We got the website, unpaidinternpodcast.com. Go race everyone for first comment on YouTube. I am KeithUnderGet73 on Instagram. More importantly, go follow my Orange Gym, the No Wine
Did we get
Cellar.
Matt?
Yes, he started it because
Shit on me.
you asked him first. Yes, you stole my line. And tune in next week to hear Joey stole my line again. And we'll see you next Tuesday. All right. Well, that's cool. I appreciate you kind of being able to assimilate so easily into crew. And this was a fun episode with a newer guest. Like it's like I can only get on who wants to be on, and I'm not gonna beg people. I'm not gonna go suck their dick to get them on my podcast. So it's like if you don't respond when I
so
say
vulgar with you.
I don't know. Well, you don't have to deal with it like I do. Like it's like there's for sure like OG crew that should have been on by now, and they just have made no effort, and have like not made efforts when I have asked them and stuff. So it's like
I understand that, but like it's just a vulgar way. Like,
yeah, I know.
like you could have been like hold doors or beg or hold hands. You could have said anything but suck their dick.
I'm still not gonna suck their dick, or I'm not gonna hold their door for them.
So how many dicks have you sucked to get them on the like?
I mean,
I didn't know that was an option.
Matt's here for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an option. And
That definitely lands like I'm not going to suck their dick to get them on, but there's dicks I have sucked to get them on, and now I have questions.
We made it to 125. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah. No, but I do like the concept of eventually
Sucking dick. Hong Kong.